to the Rocker Skating Podcast news of the week for the real first week this time of January 5th to January 11th. And we have a couple pieces of news, and then we have Canadian Nationals, which we're going to recap here on the News of the Week episode. So there are a couple of withdrawals, and there are a couple of withdrawals that were pretty major that are coming up for Europeans and for continents. Sarah Conti, Nicolo Macchi, as they're out of Europeans, and there are people saying that Sarah Conti has some kind of injury, but she has not confirmed it. Nobody has confirmed it, so all of that is hearsay. Hopefully it is, whatever it is minor enough that she's going to be ready for the Olympics. And also Conti Macchi for the team event is going to be very crucial for Italy's chances at getting on the podium. And so if somehow it takes them longer to recover, then the team event picture becomes a little bit different. And then on the Four Continents side, Cheon Kim is out. I don't know if did we hear any reasons for why she's out? No.
No, I haven't heard anything. She's disappeared off the entry list.
That's sad after the issues that she had at nationals. You wonder if the injury that she's been nursing all season long is sort of like bothering her. That effectively finishes out her season unless she gets into the world team at some point. But Ah Seung-yeon gets to go to Four Continents this time around, and she gets to then sort of put her season to bed at a major championship. Hopefully Cheon Kim recovers, and I do hope that she is back in the future. But we have not heard either way. Should we talk about Canadians?
Let's do it.
Michelle
I haven't caught a
Michelle
minute
was
of
like,
it,
I
but
did
have
not
been,
see any of it.
I do plan to watch it all, but I have been home for almost 24 hours, and I've spent most of that time sleeping and laying on the couch, not watching TV. So I do plan to watch it the next couple days. And I did get play-by-play throughout from both Jackie and our friend Barb. So I have a little idea of what happens. But
Let's start with some of the, well, actually, all of them were they're either very interesting or they were very good, or they were very good. Maybe we work back. What did you watch?
I did watch Bruce Waddle on your computer at practice.
You did. That is true.
And as great of a single skater as he is, we need him back in ice dancing.
Yes.
He's so talented, and please come back to us, Bruce.
Well, then let's start with the men, because it was coming in. There was a lot of, you wonder what was going to happen with this one spot. And it didn't disappoint. Like all season long, there's been really good skating from a number of the guys, and top three were really good. Steven Gogolev ends up winning by 20 points over Roman Sadovsky, and Alexa Rakic gets third, Wesley Chu fourth, Keegan Messing fifth. It was that group of five was really very strong. Keegan, let's start with him. He had some little mistakes in the short program that actually took him down to seventh, and he made a comeback in the free skate, but the free skate was like half popped jumps. And so if you had basically added those four triples back into the program, obviously it's all hypothetical and ideal, but he would have been right up there with the top three, not surprisingly, but he gave it a shot, we sort of knew coming in that it was going to be a long shot given how he's been skating, especially versus how everybody else has been skating this season. And my guess is he probably made the comeback thinking it wasn't going to be this competitive,
Yeah.
and it became much more competitive than really any of us thought it would be this season. And it was great to see.
Yeah. I also realized that all the time I was covering Keegan during his competitive career, he was really underselling the amount of work he was putting into his skating, because he would come to an event and be like, yeah, I had to stop skiing and I just trained a little bit more in a couple weeks coming to this event. And he'd go out and do an amazing free skate. And that's why I kind of thought, well, he looks great in his, skating on raw ice videos outdoors. But how much work can it be?
Right.
But he didn't quite get there in the way that I thought he would.
I mean, it was really the consistency that was the problem,
Yeah.
right? Like he got everything back, and he even got a quad Lutz back a couple months ago at some point, and it just wasn't there. Speaking of comebacks, Wesley Chu had a great comeback, was second after the short program, and then it didn't really connect in the free skate, ended up fourth. Alexa Rakic skated a near flawless free skate and gets himself a four continent spot as a result, and a bronze medal. I mean, frankly, that program would have won nationals in one of the years.
Yeah.
Over the past few years, it was really good. Roman Sadovsky had a couple errors in the short program. Was it one error or two errors? I think two errors in the short program that he had to come back from, and he made a very strong comeback. But the difference between him and Steven Gogolev in the short program, it was just too much to overcome, and he finishes second. The Gogo-Levissance continues, and the Gogo Olympics are happening. So much go-go.
Go, go, go.
Go, go.
Yeah. I really loved the explosion of pictures of him on Twitter after he won, from the picture of him the last time he was on the national podium in Canada. He was like 2 feet shorter than he is now.
Right.
And yeah, it was exciting. And it's exciting for him to have come back that way and come back so strong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
He's going to be doing the team event.
yeah, exactly. Everybody's going to be doing a team event. I mean, almost everybody will probably end up doing the team event. My guess is, it's great to see. I mean, it's also just great to see him healthy again, and healthy, seemingly happy with skating, and feeling like he has a direction. The work he's done with Benoit Richaud has been really good, and
Yeah.
that's just he's been a really good, just general influence on him, it seems like. So let's get to the other singles event.
I did read the quotes that came out before the women's event, which were hilarious and amazing. Maddie Skis is saying, "Oh, I'm really happy for Gabby Daleman. It's so impressive how she's come back, and I'm, really happy for her. But over my dead body, is anyone else going to the Olympics but me?" And then Gabby's like, "I'm a witch, and you can't get rid of me," which is an Adam Rippon quote from 10 years ago.
I just the sheer difference between what was being said at U.S. Nationals among the women and what was being said at Canadians. I mean, to be fair, it was one spot they were fighting for, right? I don't think Gabby and Maddie are mortal enemies, but they wanted to bring the fire. They wanted to bring the sass, and frankly, both of them brought the fire and the sass. And what was very interesting was after the short program, it was Min So Kwan who was leading, and
Yeah, Maddie out of the top 3 with her double loop.
yeah, I mean, doubled the loop. Gabby stepped out of her Lutz, and so both with a couple of little issues. Sarah Maud Dupuis was up there as well, third after turning out of her triple toe. So it was a really close race after the short program. 2 points between Min So Kwan in first and Maddie Skeezes in fourth. And Maddie Skeezes had, like, she knew, especially based on how Gabby has been skating and also how Sarah Mode has been skating this season, that she needed to be really good.
Yeah.
And she was the one who kicked it off the last four, and she just laid it down. I mean, probably the best free skate of her life. Maybe
Can't wait to watch.
I know.
Better than the team event in Beijing?
I was gonna say maybe outside of the
Wow.
team event.
Okay.
She did pop her double axel at the end, and I
Okay.
literally, like, I think it was happening right before the Olympic team announcements for the U.S., and so I was like doing a lot of gesturing while that was all happening. But she did it. I mean, she just laid it down, and so, it was then up to Sarah Mode, who went next, and then Gabby, who then went afterwards, and then Minso, who went afterwards to match or top that. And Sarah Mode fell apart and ended up eighth. It was sad to see, especially after the breakthrough season. But then Gabby came on, very first jump, doubles the triple Lutz. And so it was double Lutz, triple toe. The rest of her program was very good. I mean, I think the only other real issue was a step out of her loop, and then she also singled an axle. So kind of she matched the single axle for Maddie, but then the
little
double
more damaging.
the double Lutz was really damaging, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the big issue, and
Brutal.
she lost by 4 points. And what is a triple Lutz worth? A triple Lutz is worth 6 points. What is a double Lutz worth? A double Lutz is worth like 2 points. That's your 4 points right there. I mean, it was
That's
four and a
so
half
rough.
points.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be so proud of
Yeah.
that comeback. She went from like not knowing whether or not she was going to be able to walk again, or like learning to walk again, like all the surgeries, all the starts and stops, and for her to come back like this, it's heartbreaking, but it's also got to be somewhat satisfying. When she looks back later in hindsight, right? That she
Get on
was
the
able
podium
to,
and-
to give
yeah.
it her all. Yeah, it still was one of the best free skates that she's done. So that was it. And then Min So Kwan closed it out, and had it not been for a couple unders and the edge calls on her Lutz, she would have won nationals.
Wow.
Yeah,
As expected.
She skated really
She's
well.
close.
Yeah, she
Good
skated.
for her.
She skated really well. The components weren't quite as good as Gabby's or Maddie's. Just a little bit smaller in her skating. She's a beautiful skater.
Yeah.
But the Lutzes, all 3 Lutzes that she did in the short and the free skate got called an E, and it wasn't even.
Oh.
Yeah, so the
Come
E
on.
was just. I know. No, it was very clear.
Oh,
It really
okay.
was very clear. So the E takes down the base value and
Yeah.
is an extra grade of execution thing, and then there was an under on the triple sow and a Q on the triple toe, so it was just like a bunch of stuff that added together. So that's what happened.
Well, hopefully she gets released and can compete
I
internationally
know.
soon.
I know.
I was thinking maybe South Korea and Canada could do a swap. Canada gets Minsole and they send South Korea a pair guy. That would be, would work out for everybody.
Maybe that's what they're holding out for. Yeah, it's just it was a great event, and it matched the sassy competitiveness that went into it, and it was nice. It was nice to see, and it was very sad. Just like kind of like in the men's competition, it was sad that the top 2 couldn't go because they both deserved to go based
Yeah.
on how they've been skating
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
what is also interesting, though, we'll talk about this as well. They have not released a world team roster yet for
Interesting.
Canada,
Interesting.
and you wonder if it's they usually, or not they usually, they sometimes will wait a while to do that, and so you wonder if that's part of the equation right now. Okay, but pairs.
What happened? What happened? What
Deanna's,
event were we? Was it the men's free skate that was happening? And I just got a message from Barb, and she was like,
yeah,
"Deanna Max meltdown,
it was
third in the free skate. They lost." I was
it
like,
was
"What?"
a it was a total meltdown, and they were lucky that they had a strong short program.
Wow.
So Deanna, I found out after the fact,
Yeah.
not only had two beautiful Oscar de la Renta new dresses, but also was sick again at Canadian
Oh my
Nationals.
gosh. Girl.
Yeah, girl, you need to go and stop celebrating the holidays and just be a
Yeah.
hermit.
Did she even? I think she just needs to stay inside and
I
drink
know.
soup.
Poor Deanna. I mean, she works so hard, and then
Yeah.
you know that when she got sick, she was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe
Not
this.
again.
Not again." Better sick now than sick at the Olympics. So, I think I think they were probably one relieved to just get on the Olympic team, but two, like they're not gonna blame it on, it was a bad skate because they were sick, and that was that. But it really was a meltdown. It really was a meltdown.
Damn.
And you could tell, like when I was watching it, I thought it was Max who was the issue because he was the one who was making mistakes on the jumps. But then afterwards, you maybe realize that he was probably too busy sort of watching
Worrying.
her and worrying
Yeah.
about her and trying to not overthrow her or anything like that. And so all the stuff just ended up having issues, and they haven't skated that poorly in a while. And,
mean,
I talked about the fact
yeah.
that they had a strong short program, but there was a case for them to be third here
Wow.
because Kellyanne Loren and Luca
Yeah.
Etier skated lights out like they did at Skate America.
Good for them. Good for them. Man. I mean, I was gonna say don't compete anymore, but I'm presuming that Skate Canada's not sending Deanna to four continents, so
No four
hopefully she can
continents.
rest
No
and
four continents for
recuperate.
Deanna.
I will say the Oscar de la Renta short program dress reveal, I saw that on Twitter, was breathtaking.
I love that
The way
dress.
she unzipped her jacket, it
Yeah,
was like,
I
bam.
know. She was like, I don't care if I'm sick. I'm gonna serve face and unzip my jacket so it can be done in slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means Leah Pereira, Trent Michaud, national champions.
Yeah, bless up. And they got rid of their mission free skate, right? That has
Yeah.
been such a stumbling block for them this season. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful program,
And
but
it really
they
is
just
a
couldn't.
beautiful program.
Yeah, and I love the like Grishik and Platov styled costumes with the cross on them, and yeah, but it just wasn't working for them somehow, and so
Yeah.
that was a smart choice.
Back to Gladiator,
Yeah.
which was a really good program for them. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am sad about them not doing the mission again, but it wasn't working.
Yeah,
And you actually wonder if Deanna and Max are potentially going to go back to the vampire program because
I would.
Oscar de la
I mean-
Renta.
Yeah, and selfishly, I love Carmina Burana. I love it. But I would love to see that short program from 0304 again, the Donnez-moi one.
Yes, it is so good.
The way they performed that in Montreal Worlds like got into my bloodstream. I mean, for days, for weeks afterward, I was thinking about that.
I love how you called it '03 to '04 because Deanna was.
Oh, I did 23, 24. I do that a lot. I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
I mean, Deanna could have been competing back then. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was pairs, and Lorraine and Etienne again. They had the skate of their lives in the free.
For them.
They had mistakes in the short. Leah and Trent also had mistakes, but they were generally minor-ish mistakes, and so, you know, I was texting with Trent afterwards, and one, he was thrilled. Two, he was like, that just means nowhere to go but up, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think the attitude was good. And then we ended up with the dance event,
Yeah.
and we got some national scoring in the dance event, just as we got at U.S. Nationals, just as we got
You
at
know
French
what?
Nationals.
It happens.
They're just like
It
outdo it.
happens.
They're trying to outdo each other. And
Yeah.
there were a lot of level fours in the rhythm dance, and then the free dance was, I think Piper and Paul got a whole bunch of tens. So they got tens across the board for presentation.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So it was as expected. Gilles Poirier wins. LaJoie Legat gets second, and then it was a close race between L'Oreal Legac and Fabri Ayer after the rhythm dance. They were separated by half a point. And then L'Oreal Legac made the margin, it was 4 points, and they ended up getting the third place spot and the Olympic spot.
I haven't watched any of it yet. I plan to watch it all, but I did appreciate Scott Moyer's mad dash from the Slush Puppy Center for the junior dance events to the Enterprise Center in
Yep.
St. Louis for Christina and Anthony's rhythm dance and free dance, and there were other teams that were there, and then back to the Slush Puppy Center for the free dance. So he was all up and down the East Coast, and it was very effective. He got all of his teams.
I
on
don't
the
even
team,
I don't
so-
even know how you get from St. Louis to Gatineau. It's got to be at least 2 flights and then some.
Yeah.
So Scott Moyer and Scott was one of those coaches who kept coming over to me to make sure he knew what the Canadian results were.
Yeah.
So he was
That
he was
reminds
very
me of-
intent.
Because we had Canadians and U.S. Nationals the same week because it's an Olympic year. But usually Canadians is first, and then the next week is U.S. Nationals and Europeans. And you would always have Nathan Chen popping over to ask you how Trusova was doing at Europeans. I remember he set a national record in the short program. And he came into the press conference. He didn't go to his seat. He didn't go say hi to anybody. He went directly to you. And he was like, Jackie, what's going on at Europeans? How many quads did Trusova do?
He was fascinated by Trusova.
Yeah.
Fascinated.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we all were.
No, yeah.
I remain.
for many reasons. So, when we digress. So that was news of the week for the week of January 5th to January 11th. Welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast, sponsored by John Wilson Blades. Michelle, how are you feeling after that week?
Hi, Jackie. I was feeling just fine until I woke up this morning with a little cold, but I am not mad about it because I did not get it on site. And
You think
we
you
had
got
the
it from the
privilege-
dogs?
I think I got it from the dogs. We had the privilege of having these adorable, lovely, wonderful therapy dogs backstage all week. I could not keep myself out of that Nulo lounge. I was in there once an hour, and I saw all kinds of skaters in there, and we all shared our germs on those dogs. Everybody was petting the dogs, and I got something, and I'm not even sorry. It was worth it. Shout out to Jupiter the Golden Retriever,
Ooh,
who actually made
Jupiter.
our NBC show.
Jupiter.
Yeah, and we showed Amber Glenn jumping over him.
Oh.
Because her triple axel in the short program, spoiler, Amber did an amazing triple axel in the short program, was 1 foot and 2 inches high or something, and it was the average height of a golden retriever.
Oh my goodness.
So we showed Jupiter in the pet lounge, and then we showed her jumping and a golden retriever underneath her.
That is
This is very important coverage.
Yeah,
This is very important.
That is important journalism right there.
Yeah. And all the dogs had little cards, so I collected all their little cards,
Ah,
with their stats on them.
I kept
It was a
the
great
the
time.
dogs kept walking past me at backstage, and
Mhm.
I was like, oh,
Mhm.
every single time. Of course, I'm like gasping
Mhm.
when the
Mhm.
dogs walk past. But I
Yeah.
never got to visit the lounge, and frankly, I should have,
Mm.
especially after that
Mhm.
men's event.
Mhm.
So we'll
Yeah.
talk. We'll talk about the men's event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
so
I have a list of everything I want to talk about.
oh,
And
I
as we
love it.
talk about things, I'm going to cross it out, but then I might have a little bit to get through at the end. So
This might take a long time. I
it
mean,
might. It might.
if we, if my live shows with Tarek Nichols was any indication, we were
Uh-huh.
going for an hour to an hour and a half every night.
Yeah. Wow.
I barely
Well,
slept, barely slept.
yeah. Well, I mean, I barely slept too, and I wasn't even doing the live shows. It was a busy week. And it's so hard to not socialize with people too, because like you don't see them very often.
I
And
know.
it's like, it's so much fun to talk about what's happening. So,
I mean, we talk about this every year amongst
hmm
the skaters, the alums, the coaches, right? Like nationals is very much like a reunion every single year, right?
hmm
Like I
hmm
see Brian Boitano every year at
Yeah.
nationals, and every
Yeah.
year, you know, yeah, every year he and I are just sitting there
hmm
watching skating together and talking about
Yeah.
stuff because this is his decompression time
Yeah.
during the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very much a time for reunion, a time to
hmm
have everybody be in the same place. And yes,
hmm
there's a lot of socializing. And
hmm
no, I did not actually end up anywhere to socialize because I had no time. It's great.
Yeah, I know. We missed you in the lobby of
You
our hotel,
you
which
know
was a
I
train, which was a train station.
I usually go to at least one of those nights, but I
Yeah, I was
didn't.
waiting for you.
I know. All right, where do we want to start? Should we start with the craziness that was pairs?
Sure. I have a hot take on pairs, but I'll say it. I'll save it for when we get to it.
Mm.
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 Mm-hmm.
So, as is usual, the U.S.
It's a mess.
Well, no,
It was
I
a
was gonna say
mess.
no, but as is usual, the U.S. pairs love to put down a good short program.
Some of them.
Well,
Some of them.
some of them. I mean,
Some of them.
the top. What was it? The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 were actually very good in the short program, and
McBeath. The way McBeath was practicing, McBeath Parkman, I was like, they're gonna win. And then they went out and did that lift.
I
And
know. Good Lord, the story of the lifts on this one. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But after the short, it was Efimova Mitrofanov, then Shin and Naj, Cam O'Shea, Plazas Fernandez, McBeath Parkman, and then Emily Chan and Spencer Cow were in 8th place after a disaster of a short
Disaster.
program. It was a disaster.
Disaster. Disaster. Yeah.
They were
Um,
they were lucky to have gotten 59 points for that short program.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
like after the mistake, it was just like they they were lost the whole time.
yeah. Yeah. And the energy they gave off after they skated was odd too. They were just so separated from each other. And yeah.
Well, and you see it. I'm actually looking at their protocols right now. You see it in the protocols. There was a judge that gave them 5.0 for presentation,
Whoa. I mean, fair.
which it was fair, which really was fair. But the the majority of them gave them 7s.
I love this spread. This was judge number 8. They gave them a 6.25 for composition, fine, 5 for presentation, and a 7.25 for skating skills.
And that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I like that there are different numbers. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Judges need to do a little bit more of that, but but yeah, it was they had a deduction for a late start. She tripped going
Mm-hmm.
into the pattern for the lift, and then they completely lost the pattern sorry, on the throw, and they
Yeah.
completely lost the pattern on the throw and had to like improvise getting it
Mm-hmm.
back together, and then
Yeah.
she fell on that throw, and
Mm-hmm.
then luckily they didn't have any more mistakes, but they were just lost.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the stage that was set for the free skate.
But we have to mention Shin and Naj though, with their Tessa Virtue choreographed
They were
Moulin Rouge short program, which was so
they
good.
were so good. They were so good in the short.
I mean, I am so over Tango de Roxanne. I've heard it 20,000 times, and I was so into it. The way they were speeding into their last element, which was the lift, after they had done, their jump and their throw, and they'd hit everything, and the crowd was roaring. I was like, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And after the short, I was like, they're on the team.
Uh, we all thought they were on the team. We
Yeah,
really all thought they were on
yeah.
the team. I mean, they had you know, okay, there was all week there was this like mystery as to whether Elisa
Mm-hmm.
Evimova was going to get her citizenship. We all knew, and they also knew that it was going to be a long shot. But
Yeah,
somehow the media was playing it such that they were like, oh, there
yeah,
might be like a last minute miracle, and like
yeah,
emphasis on last minute miracle. Like
yeah.
the chances were very low, and there were all these things
Mm-hmm.
that was like, oh, the senators are on it, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not going to happen.
No.
They even
Oh.
like the way that Elisa and Misha were talking about, they were like,
Mm-hmm.
we are hoping for a slim chance miracle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like they were like expecting it to happen, and the media like it just felt like mainstream media felt like it was going to happen somehow.
Yeah. Well, their club was very aggressively promoting it and talking about it. Um, I was conflicted about it because while it would be wonderful for that to come through and for her to be able for them to be on the Olympic team, it also is concerning about what it would say about the state of our government in order for that to happen. And that, like, I don't know, my whole life that I've been following skating, it's never been
E-
that easy. Like, it's
exactly,
never worked out. Never.
exactly.
So US citizenship is like the worst one to try and get. It's so hard.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, the long story short is they did not get their citizenship, and
Mhm.
they ended up winning, and they'll be going to
Mhm.
Worlds and four continents. Um,
Mhm.
but after the short, right? It was Shin and Naj who were in second,
Mhm.
8 points above Shannon Howe. They had a
Mhm.
very comfortable cushion. It wasn't an insurmountable cushion, and
Yeah.
it's U.S. pairs, so you never know.
You
Um,
never really never know.
and there was also the insertion of Plazas Fernandez, who was in fourth.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and we all generally thought like Cam and O'Shea are gonna be fine. They will.
Mhm.
They've had a great season. They would have to like
Yeah.
implode in order
Mhm.
for them to not make the team. So it was really the second spot. And after the short, Shin and Naj were very much in that position.
Mhm.
And then came the free skate.
Yeah. And it was one thing after another. Every element had a little GOE loss on it. It just hemorrhaged one after the other, and then they had a lift come down early.
It, the thing was with Audrey and Balaj, they were very valiant in holding on to everything. It was tight,
Yeah.
but there were no falls. There were
Mhm.
like everything was like they made sure they did the elements. They made sure they rotated stuff as much as they could. They got some unders, but like there was nothing
Mhm.
that was like a huge error until
Mhm.
those last two lifts. And I still don't know what it was, whether it was like excitement slash relief
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
they had gotten through all that stuff and they were toward the end of the program or what. But I was saying this, and I gotta talk to them about it at some point when they have decompressed about this whole
Mhm.
thing, because I was in the corner where they were finishing up their second to last lift, and I distinctly remember being like, "Is Audrey having trouble catching her blade?" And I think she was, and
Yes.
she ended up catching her blade, and it was fine. But like right at the end, she was like shouting something, and I couldn't hear what it was, or maybe she was just very happy and she was
were
like
The
opening
end
up.
opposite from you.
Yeah, I really don't know what it was. And then they came down, and 5 seconds later, they had to go up for their last lift. And it was the easiest lift of the three.
Yeah.
But it was also,
Group 3.
it was also, Balaj looked a little gassed. I think Audrey was maybe a little panicked. Maybe both of them were a little panicked. I'm not sure. And the timing on the setup to the lift was just not right, and they just lost all sorts of points on it. It was a level base lift, which was 1.6 points off of a level 4 lift. And so they lost a point and a half in base value, and then they got a bunch of negative grades of execution because it came down early and it was a little messy. And so, whereas they usually would get like a 6-point lift, they ended up getting 2.7.
Yeah. And that was the difference.
That was the
And more.
difference. That was the difference.
Yeah.
They lost
think
by
in
they
the
lost by
arena-
1.4. They lost by 1.4, and that
Crazy.
lift cost them 3.5 to 4 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so sad because the two of them have such good potential,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I really hope
Yeah.
they don't. I mean, it literally is their second season together. They have done a lot for having been together for a season and a half, and for Audrey to have learned pair skating.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really hope they stick around for the next quad because they could really be something. They remind me of when I first saw Miura Kihara back in Oakville when they were first paired up together.
That's a big statement, Jackie.
It is a big
I
statement.
remember when you saw them.
Yeah. It is a big statement. But they do have potential, and it's all there. They just the competition experience has been weird for them, right? Like they really
Yeah.
haven't had a traditional kind of like, oh, we're gonna work up to it. They're like second or third international competition with 4 continents.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a lot of pressure really early.
yeah, and then they had to go and
Yeah.
compete in the Beijing event and like all that stuff, right? So anyway,
Yeah.
so
In the
that
end,
is
they did end up skating for their spot. They lost the spot. They didn't get the spot in the Beijing event, and they ended up being the
Third.
one on the cusp here.
Yep,
So,
they were the third.
so my hot take is I kind of would have put Chelsea Liu and Ryan Bedard on the team. And here's why. When you apply to law school, they look at your GPA and your LSAT. But if you're an engineering major, you get a lot more discretion on that GPA. Like a 3.2, a 3.3, that's like as good as in an engineering degree, that's as good as having like a 4.0 in like poli-sci. Chelsea Liu may or may not have had pneumonia at this competition. She was very under the weather. She told us she was at 25%. At one point, she went running off the practice ice to projectile vomit into a trash can. She had her whole head in the trash can, wipes her mouth, goes out on practice, and does 2 triple twists. Okay? That was and they skated really well, considering all things considered. And I'm like, if you can do that when you are at death's door, whether it was wise or not for her to compete, that's up to her. I know her coaches weren't that enthusiastic about her doing it, but her decision. That really impressed me because I'm not only a huge weenie, but I'm also like terrified of pairs. And I would say pair girls are just built different. And I don't know. That was incredibly impressive. And I give her points for that.
while I somewhat agree with the impressiveness, I also
Mm-hmm.
do not care for the lionization of skating while under the like really under the weather or like super injured just to be like heroic. I mean,
Lungs full of phlegm,
yeah,
pus,
who knows?
etc.
Like she clarified publicly that she did not have
Yeah.
pneumonia. I'll take her word for it. But
Okay.
either way, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
she she was very sick
Yeah.
coming in, and she decided to do it. And like I just it is one of those things where it's like, what is the line of competing while hurt or competing while
Yeah.
sick, right? And do we as a public celebrate these things? I mean, I think back to the Carrie Strug example, and
Yeah.
and back in the day, it was very much like, oh my God, look at how she did while she was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And like the more time passes, the more it's like, first of all, they didn't need her to vault. Second of all, that vault like gave her a career ending injury. Third of all, though, that vault also became her like
Signature moment.
claim to fame and
But
like
Carrie Strug was a child.
yeah,
Chelsea Lou is an adult woman, and she can make decisions for herself.
all true.
And I just marvel at the tenacity of people in pairs, especially women in pairs. Yeah, I was impressed. She decided it was worth it for her, and she went after it. What are they gonna do? Tell her she can't skate? I mean, you know,
I mean,
that's like Megan Duhamel energy.
I mean, it is, but it's also one of those things where I often think about, and we're totally off on a tangent here, but I often think about like, we've seen skaters have concussions in the middle of their program
Her.
well, yeah, well, she yes,
She did withdraw, I think.
she did withdraw.
Yeah.
It was very scary.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been like like Keegan Messing has hit his head on the ice,
Mm-hmm.
on a random triple loop, and then continued to skate, and the referee didn't call anything, right? Like there's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when as a third party
Mm-hmm.
looking into something that is happening right now that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look right, like you should call it anyway. Neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
But we're bearing the lead, which is that Chan and Hao skated in the very first group, like
Mm-hmm.
hours before the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the skating happened for the pairs free skate, because of the way that they split up
Mm-hmm.
the event, and didn't skate flawlessly, but skated pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially like the fact that Emily Chan landed a triple Salchow cleanly, that soul
Hers was
element.
clean.
Hers was
it
clean.
Spencer's that was downgraded?
No. It was the axle that was downgraded. It was a double axle. Her double axle was a downgrade.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
There we go.
The
Yeah,
fact
yeah, okay.
the she and Spencer made the Olympic team because she landed a triple Salchow cleanly.
Yeah.
Like think
That's
about
true.
it, right? Like if that was her usual doubled Salchow
Mm-hmm.
or her usual under rotated or downgraded
Mm-hmm.
Salchow, that would have been it. 1.4
Yeah.
points.
And I mean, their pair elements get good GOE because they're a beautiful
They're
team.
really good.
You
Yeah.
know, when they're on that, and especially that program is really nice on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Gosh,
crazy sport.
yeah.
Crazy
we're-
sport of pair skating.
We haven't even talked about the ones who won.
Yeah.
Should we talk about how Elisa Evimova almost stabbed Misha Mitrofano with her blade?
Mm-hmm. Her
that was
blade
a
was very close to his
scary
femoral
moment.
artery.
Very scary moment. He fell on his double axel, and they got really close, and she had just finished extending out on her landing, and luckily she was aware of where he was,
Yeah.
and like retracted her foot right away, and but
It
it
would have
was
been
a
like the end of that Browns free dance.
oh my god. That would just I cannot, like,
Yeah, that was scary.
it was very
very
scary. But the only issues they really had were on the side by sides, and the rest of it was very good, and they win their second national title, the first pair team to repeat since Marissa Castelli and Simon Schnappier
Wow.
in 2014.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's crazy that there has been no repeat winners since then. I mean,
Well,
that goes to show the
Brandon
revolving
Fraser
door.
had COVID, so
Yeah, exactly.
they would have had 3.
Right,
but
right.
I did. We had Alexa, Chris, and Brandon. Alexa and Chris Knierim and Brandon Fraser floating around all week, and Braxton Knierim, who is 6 months old. And I kept thinking, hey, I wish you guys were still skating. Any combination. I'd love
No.
to see you guys out there skating.
Alexa and Chris, Alexa and Brandon, Brandon and Chris, any of those combinations. Brandon and Chris can go
Yeah.
and skate. That's really good.
Put them on the team.
Yeah, put them on a team. Ellie Kim, Danny O'Shea had. It wasn't a terrible short program. There was a fall. Well, there
Yeah.
was a fall and then a step out on the throw, and then they got themselves back well in the free skate. Not their best of the season, but also okay.
Yeah.
And did plenty to get themselves on the team, and so they're going to their first Olympics. Danny O'Shea, at 55 years old, can finally say he is on an Olympic team. It's been a long time for him.
He had 3 full Olympic cycles where
Yeah.
he was one of the top pairs in the
Yep.
U.S. and
Yep.
did not make it.
I mean,
So-
we all remember when he and Tara went to 2018 in Pyeongchang. They actually were asked to go because Alexa and Chris were potentially not able to skate,
Yeah.
and that didn't end up happening. So
Yeah.
Tara Kane was actually at nationals this week. She was doing
Yeah.
the ringside with pairs with Jean Luc with the practice cam, and I talked to her, and she was like, I'm going again to Milan, and I will be a 2-time Olympic observer.
Yeah.
It was very, very. It was bittersweet that they didn't
Yeah.
end up making it.
Yeah.
And then Katie McBeath, Danielle Parkman gets third with a very weird side-by-side triple flip.
Yeah. She was on the ground before he took off.
Yeah.
But that was their first time trying it. It was like a new jump for them.
I mean,
So,
new jump for a while. They
Yeah.
did it. They did it a couple years ago when they first started, and then they brought it back.
try it back. Yeah.
She was telling me they were doing it because they feel like they could rotate the flips better than they could rotate the sows. So that ended up being in the program, but it looked like it was like the first time they were doing it because it was just so
Yeah.
off sync.
Yeah.
But the rest of the program was good. And also the rest of their season was strong enough such that nobody else was able to sort of surpass them in the criteria. Like just like you think about how they did over the season, and so the Olympic team will be Cameron O'Shea and Shannon Howe. The world's team will be Efimova Mitrofanov, Cameron O'Shea, and McBeath Parkman.
Makes sense.
That all made sense. There was maybe a slight case for Shinonaj. I'm sure there was a lot of deliberation on that one because if you looked at Seoul momentum, they had the momentum coming in. Whereas Shan and Hao they started off strongly and then kind of dipped a little bit. But based on everything, it was the right call.
Yeah.
Heartbreakingly close. And Shin and Naj will be able to finish their season at Four Continents in 2 weeks. So that's that with the pairs.
You know what, Jackie? I just realized we left a huge item out of the news of the week.
What did we leave out?
The retirement of Ava Marie Ziegler.
Well, we'll talk about that here.
I appreciate everyone at Nationals that gave me their sympathies and commiserated with me. She said that she's stepping away from skating, and it breaks my heart because she had so much potential. Could have been a national champion more than once, and I miss her very much, even though we really haven't seen much of her in the last 2 years.
Right.
That was really sad, and
Yeah.
people even shouted me out on Twitter. So, AMZ forever.
Oh, AMZ. I mean, maybe she'll have a miraculous feeling of Deanna Stellato, goodness, and come back later in her career.
Yeah, or maybe she'll have a daughter who becomes, very famous for a few minutes in U.S. figure skating and then disappears. She kind of had a similar career trajectory to her mom.
Who was her mom?
Patricia Mansfield, I want to say, is her mom's name.
Patricia.
She was a 90.
She's a judge, isn't she? Patricia Mansfield.
Marie. She was a very popular skater in the night. Well, not very popular. She was a skater in the 90s in the U.S. I think she was like 5th at Nationals.
I remember her. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Patricia Ziegler. She used to be Patricia Mansfield.
Wow. Competed at 5 U.S. championships, finishing 5th in 1995.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
I still wonder if AMZ had come to Nationals that year instead of going to Four Continents, because she could have won. She could have won. Anyway.
Can we then talk about the women's event and how
Yes, please.
Totally different this competition is versus practically the last 20 years
Unbelievable.
of women's skating in the U.S.
I've been watching skating my whole life. I never remember seeing a Nationals like that.
It's
5
crazy.
clean tour programs, 5 clean free skates. Unbelievable.
It was, and it wasn't just like clean and like maybe some of them were like easier than others. They were all freaking hard programs, right?
Yeah.
Like in the short, all 5 of those skaters that we're talking about, we're talking about Alyssa Liu, we're talking about Amber Glenn, we're talking about Isabella Vito, Brady Tennell, Sarah Everhart. Every one of those skaters had either a triple Lutz combination or a triple flip combination, and Amber had a triple axel, and Alyssa had a triple Lutz triple loop. Like, these were hard programs. These were not triple toes. The combination of that, the fact that all 5 of them are just good all around skaters, and the atmosphere, the occasion of it being an Olympic season where they are fighting for Olympic spots. I was floored. And we kept getting clean skating, and I was just out of control.
Unbelievable. I mean, I want to say it's like Russian Nationals, like where you see these people going out clean, but these are like older, like not a lot older, but they're older, they're healthy, and like they're skating because they love it, and they have such a like friendly, respectful relationship among all of them, especially the top 3.
And the thing I'll add too is the difference for me between U.S. This set of U.S. nationals and a typical set of Russian nationals is the program personalities were all very different here.
Yes, totally.
Right.
Totally.
And that's a thing that I've always appreciated about U.S. nationals is that
Mm-hmm.
you know the free will choreography of it all, allows
Mm-hmm.
these skaters to really feel like different people.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Amber in her mid-ish 20s
Mm-hmm.
to Isabeau in her late teens, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
this it's a large range of
Mm-hmm.
people, and it's a large range of um, life experiences, which is,
Mm-hmm.
I think, so great. But I mean, you know, I was at Japanese nationals,
Yeah.
and the last two groups of the Japanese nationals women's free skates were incredible. And I will
Mm-hmm.
say the last two groups there were better than the last two groups here.
Mm-hmm.
But the last group here was better than the last group of Japanese nationals.
Wow.
That is to say, they were all like incredible. Like
Yeah.
the sheer fact that the U.S. and Japan are sending three women who all have individual medal potential at the
Mm-hmm.
Olympics is just it makes
Yeah.
me speechless and speechful at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah. I mean, on any day, any of those women could win.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
There was one thing I didn't like. Okay, I'm gonna say one little bit of a negative thing.
You're gonna talk about
I
Gaga.
wasn't, I wasn't impressed by Gaga. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I loved the dress.
Neither was Alyssa.
Yeah. The program didn't have the energy in it that that music demands, and you could feel it. And the crowd was really into it, but like they were into the music.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was watching it thinking, Alyssa likes Gaga, but she's not a little monster.
Mm-hmm.
You could just feel it.
Yeah.
And I saw on, I guess this is the Olympic Channel reported. It was our friends Nick and Scott got the tea that she is leaving that program behind and going back to MacArthur Park for the Olympics. Presumably also going back to the gold dress, which I think is always a good idea. So
So here's a thought for you. I was
yeah.
very sad that I didn't break the news because I heard that hours
Oh
before,
yeah. Yeah.
and I
I
and
mean,
I
you told me.
yeah I
They
talked.
got it on the record.
Well, exactly. I
Uh,
heard it. I heard it secondhand, and then I
yeah.
talked to Massimo and Philip, and they were like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, it's not coming back." I did not ask them in that moment because
Yeah.
I was crying
Can I
during
break this?
no, exactly. Because I was
Yeah.
crying and emotional during Max Naumov's crowning
Yeah.
of achievement of going to the Olympics, and I
Yeah.
forgot to ask them if I can publicly release it. And then they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
gone, and I couldn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very sad about that, but that's okay.
Hmm.
She is going to have a new dress, though.
Okay. Just don't not be gold.
It
Still
will
needs
be.
to be gold.
It's supposed to be a gold dress. It's supposed to be a new
Good.
gold dress. That's
Okay.
what I heard.
Okay.
So
Bless up.
yes. But the thing about that Gaga program is, right? Had this been the version that we saw at
Hmm.
Lombardia, and she had an entire season to like go do a whole week of a camp with drag queens, and like, you know, like we should have had our friend Denali like just
Yeah.
spend a week with her and do all that
Hmm.
stuff. Um, it could have gotten somewhere. Uh,
Yeah.
but
I just
it
like,
won't go anywhere in 3 weeks, and they knew it,
yeah.
she knew it, and even afterwards people asked her like, oh, what did you think of the program? She was like, I need to go back and look at it.
Yeah. That's it. It's just, she's just not crazy enough for Gaga. I looked over at Johnny while she was skating, and I mean, the tension in his body, like that harpsichord intro to Bad Romance, that is like a call to arms for people that like are little monsters that love Gaga. Like that is just, and it's great that she tried the style, and it's just I don't feel like it's essential for her when she
Yeah.
hears that music, and that's fine. Some people are I don't know what the name for Leve little monsters are, but that's what Alyssa is.
Levius. That sounds a little too like literature.
What's the Icelandic phrase words for little monsters?
Did you see, by the way, at the Golden Globes, Leve was there, and
Oh,
she had to correct one of the like paparazzi photographers, and she was like, "My name is not Megan." Like, who did they think she was? Meghan Markle? Like what? Like what? Who? Megan? Who? Megan
Megan?
Fox? Megan Duhamel?
Probably Megan Fox. That's funny.
Be like, Leve, are you Megan Duhamel?
Yeah.
Um, so, and I digress. Oh
Okay.
no, I like to
Got
stop.
it.
I also like to stop digressing because there was some heated rivalry content from the
Yes.
Golden Globes. I'm going to stop
Oh,
there before we go
the
completely off track.
haircuts, the sunglasses. Okay. Litlu Skrimslin is Icelandic for little monsters.
That is
That's what
how
Alyssa is.
that is
She's a
Alyssa.
Litlu Skrimslin. While we're on the heated rivalry topic,
Oh,
I
Megan
think we
from
need to talk
Cat's
about.
Eye. Megan from Cat's
Oh.
Eye. That makes sense and is a little racist. Um,
I think we need to talk about the weird schedule where we were in the same venue for all of the senior events, no practice rink, and they weren't doing ice cuts between different disciplines.
it was very
So
weird.
yeah, it was odd. That is odd. And I guess they're not like practicing compulsory dances or anything, so it's not like the ice is going to be messed up. But still, you know, weird.
There were weird scheduling things. Period. Because as I understand it, they did not want the skaters to be going back and forth to the
Mm,
practice rink like they usually do, and so they um, jammed everything into the main rink,
mm,
and therefore they did not. They were trying to maximize the amount of time that they could spend on practice ice.
yeah.
So that's what ended up happening. So all the juniors, none of the juniors ended up being able to be on in the main rink
Boo.
at
I
all,
didn't like
which
that.
I thought was
It was
sad
very
for them.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they should have just done it on Monday or something. It's like
Yeah. I
give
like
it
going to the practice rink too. I feel like it's like a different environment over there. And it's like, I think people train differently on the main ice because they really feel like they're being watched. Whereas in the practice rink, I don't know, they
I
relax a little bit.
I wonder if the schedulers that be were having some nightmares from 4 years ago in Nashville when there was a
Oh,
huge snowstorm.
yeah. And
And
Tennessee has no idea how to deal with ice,
right,
apparently.
yeah,
And it is hills.
and there were a lot of like, I hope the bus is getting there safely
Yeah. I
for the
remember
practice
Nathan was
ice.
going on it. 'Cause we
Yeah.
asked him if he was going to practice because we were going to have to send a camera to watch him. And I was like, oh, God, should we really put him on that bus?
He almost bummed a ride with me because he didn't
Oh, my
want to
God.
ride. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so maybe that was what it was. Who
Anyway.
knows? Anyway,
Yeah.
let's go back to the incredible women's event.
Okay.
Whew, what do we want to talk about with that? I
Sonia
mean,
Hilmer, tap dance.
oh, Sonia Hilmer.
Incredible.
I wish she had.
Crowd loved it.
I wish she had skated better.
I
Like
can't even remember.
jumps wise.
The
Um,
tap dancing just wiped everything else out of my mind. I
they
loved it.
they loved it. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And it's so good that she is able to just like show her side of the of
Hmm.
skating. And in my interview with her, she was actually definitely thinking about continuing. Like this is not the
Hmm.
last we're going to see of Sonia Homer,
Hmm.
hopefully, especially if the new ISU proposal of one fewer jumping pass, greater emphasis on components.
Good.
You
Let's do
know,
it. Come back, Sonia.
yeah.
I hope they
But
go through with that.
but they did.
Hmm.
She did show off her triple sow, double axle, double sow cow combination.
Yeah, that was cool. And
And
it's just like another combination, you know? It's
yeah,
just she's just done it so much now. It's like, whoa.
but the crowd
Yeah.
loved it too. I mean, they're
Yeah.
very very knowledgeable. They knew what was coming.
Hmm.
Um, you know, the fact that she does an entire spin going the other direction and gets a
Yeah.
level 4 for it is crazy.
Incredible.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I
it was just such a
yeah.
good event.
I was very much enjoying Sherry Zhang. If she had
Sherry
done
Zhang's
that
so good.
flip in her short program, I mean, she would have been, if not in the last group, very close to it. She is just, she takes me back to another time. Her
Yes.
expression and her just projection, and
Classic.
she's so talented. Yeah. And
Classic.
getting the toe out in her short program was
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. I just hope she can start getting consistent because she had that great nationals last year, and then she actually has started off this season really well at that like the junior selection pool thing, it domestically, and then she had a terrible junior Grand Prix. So she has so
My,
much potential.
how did you feel watching her East of Eden short program with all its little Michelle Kwan
I
nuances in
love
it?
it. I love it. There were so many little tributes.
Uh huh.
There was the Sherry Zhang Michelle Kwan tribute. There was the Erica Machida Shizuru Agawakawa tribute with
Oh yeah.
Chando. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like these are, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we love it when skaters know
Mm-hmm.
who the goats are.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking
We had
of
the Sophia Loren tribute by
oh,
Isabel Levito.
Sophia Loren tribute, I do love how she talks about her short programs, Isabeau,
Yeah.
where she's like, but that's like sort of my personality, and I can like just like be a diva and skate like a diva, and I'm like, Isabeau, you go and be Sophia Loren, go do it.
I was born a diva. I've
Yeah,
been a diva since I was a little girl.
that's basically what she was saying.
Yeah.
No, but speaking of potential, can we talk about U.S. Luna?
Oh yes! Oh my gosh.
Emilia
Amelia
Nemirovsky.
Nemirovsky Hendricks. She looks like Luna. She's built like Luna. She jumps like Luna. She skates like Luna. And the thing that's so amazing is she's coached by Julie Berlin, longtime coach of Alyssa Sisney, and her jump technique is immaculate.
So
So
different.
I'm wondering, maybe Alyssa learned her jumps elsewhere because Alyssa had the weirdest jump technique I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and this girl is like rock solid. Um,
I
I love it.
we talked
Just
about
imagine Luna not tan and in a lilac dress, and this is her.
this and
Yeah,
skating the Chapel Roan. Um,
yeah, yeah.
but we talked about this in the preview show where I was
Mhm,
like, watch out for Emilia
mhm,
Nemirovsky
mhm.
because when she hits, those jumps
Yeah,
are so effortless. She has
yeah.
a triple axel. She has landed one in practice.
Wow.
She's landed more than one in practice, but she's
Mhm.
landed them in practice. And I just like get her consistent and watch out for the next
Yeah,
4 years.
yeah.
Like so good, such great basics, really effortless
Mhm.
power. Um, you know, and she can skate, she can jump, she can do everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was just so exciting to watch,
Yeah,
and I mean, I wouldn't mind if she leaned into the Luna look a little bit. I mean, it's fun. It
I
was exciting.
I do remember like when I first saw her, I was like, oh my god, Luna's
Uh,
here.
yeah. I almost asked her about it, and then I was like, no, she probably gets that like every
I'm
5 feet she goes down this
sure.
hallway.
Yeah, there's literally no way she does not know
Yeah,
she looks like Luna Hendricks.
yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
yes, I mean, the
Just need to spend some time in Miami and get an Adam Solia free skate. It'll all come together.
yeah, no, but just so much good skating. Sophie Jolene
Hmm.
von Felten moved up to sixth.
Hmm.
In the final standings, she landed
Hmm.
some great triple axels. You know, one of those skaters who, if and when she can figure out her
Hmm.
artistry, watch out.
Hmm.
Um, Star Andrews skated generally very well, ended up seventh.
Hmm.
She'll get to close out her hope, maybe close out her senior singles career at
Hmm.
Four Continents.
And sang the anthem before the men's free skate
She was
beautifully.
great. She was
Really
great.
good.
Yes.
Really good. Yeah.
And then the last five. Wow.
They were so good.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Sarah Everhart has been off all season, and she comes here and she just nails everything.
Yeah.
Like
Her
she's
free
back.
skate has really grown on me, especially that last third as the music is sort of lifting. I really got into it, and I still am not crazy about the costume, but the
It is
program
a
was
new
good.
costume. It's a new costume.
Yeah,
She got
you
rid of those
know.
like puffy sleeves.
I haven't seen Poor Things. I was talking about this with Ting Sui, who is a incredible skater and worked with us on site and is a podcast listener, by the way.
Hi
But I was
Ting.
talking to her about this, and she has seen the movie and said that like the colors that she used, that Sarah used, are like accurate for the film.
Mm.
And I felt like the cut of the costume was fine, but the colors, it was a lot. Maybe if I
There's
saw the film, I'd be more into it. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
the colors are very UCLA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, no, but there are a lot of things that I appreciate about that program and her improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that she has a really good sense of musicality in that one, like
Mm-hmm.
and musicality in the sense that she hits the notes. She always hits the
Mm-hmm.
notes. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, I always think about that triple loop double axel combination that she has, where it
Mm-hmm.
when she lands, it is in the right spot all the time.
Triple axle.
Sorry, triple loop double axel,
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
triple loop double axel. Um, and
Yeah.
you know she's
Yeah.
paid a lot of attention to the choreography and she wants
Mm-hmm.
to improve, and she's been making it a point, right, to
Mm-hmm.
feel like she has her own style, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not something cookie cutter, and I appreciate that, and I hope it continues. I hope she continues to find her own voice
Mm-hmm.
in the skating that she does, and
Mm-hmm.
this next 4 years will be very interesting to see how she
Yeah.
grows.
And I mean, of anyone in this field, her jump technique is far and away like my favorite. It is
Yeah,
just gorgeous.
yeah. She and Amelia Lemurowski just go out there and
Mm-hmm.
just like do your beautiful jumps.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
on the other side of the career spectrum, Brady Tennell,
Mm-hmm.
very much a retirement looking like free
Mm-hmm.
skate. She skated the best free skate that I have seen from her in a long time.
In a long time. And it was really heroic because she was in fifth after the short program. I mean, she knew it was a really long shot to get on the team, and
Yeah,
she still went out there and fought and laid down that program.
yeah,
Which I mean, in her landings and that were better than I've seen all season.
absolutely.
Um,
They haven't
yeah.
looked like that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you could call her for was a Q on the triple toe. Like
Yeah.
everything else looked great.
But I think they gave her an under. Did they?
No, they were all Qs.
Did they give her a Q?
Yeah,
Maybe in the short she got a. Oh yeah, you're right. Just a Q.
yeah, yeah. The reason I remember is that that's what I called, and I was like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was actually right.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, so that's Brady Tennell. If this is her last nationals, it was a great one to end on. Frankly, she looked very satisfied with fourth place, very satisfied with how she's
Mm-hmm.
come back from her injuries, that she was able to in earnest fight for an Olympic spot after
Mm-hmm.
having to withdraw 4 years ago. All of that stuff. I think she was very proud, and you could
Mm-hmm.
see her on the podium, sort of. In some ways, it was a bit of a passing of the torch to the next
Mm-hmm.
generation. But
Mm-hmm.
she was very much like happy and excited that she did what she did there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Isabeau, Alyssa, Amber. Amber's short
Mm-hmm.
program,
Oh my God, that was awesome.
phenomenal.
I don't. I don't know how she can tap into that sometimes because sometimes she just can't. And she
Yeah,
was just in the zone And it was the most I've seen her throw down and the most I've seen her celebrate, I think, ever. She had the audience like in the palm of her hand. It was fantastic.
She mentioned afterwards that it was a program where she didn't come out of it thinking she could do better. And she wants to have that energy for her free skate where she could be like, I I'm just gonna go out there and do the thing and finish and be like, there's no more I can do. And look, nowhere but the Olympics to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing that if they split the team event, it'll be Alyssa doing the free skate and Amber doing the short program.
Yeah. I don't know. If Amber can do that short program like that, absolutely. I think Alyssa's been a little more consistent in the short program, but it may ultimately be up to who they decide is the highest ranked skater and what they want to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Alyssa is just more reliable for consistency, period. And you can say that about the short and the free. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they decide. But also, Alyssa Liu's short program was brilliant.
brilliant.
Best
It was
triple,
so good.
best let's triple loop that she has done all season long. Like there was no doubt that that was going to be clean based on how she landed. And it was just good. Like they were just all so good. Whatever it is that these three have, we need to like figure out a way to bottle it up and give it to everybody else.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of like, I don't know. I want to say Justin Dillon has some influence on this environment that they're competing in that they're relaxed, they're friendly with each other, they don't feel this hostility between each other. And then I think Amber has done a lot of work on the athlete end to sort of foster a really friendly, supportive environment among them. And it's like they're just so supportive of each other. It's pretty amazing. And I can't remember a time when it was ever like that to that
No.
degree with that many competitors.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and with a bunch of like people who are vying for big titles, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you think about these three, and you think about, for me, the two instances where the U.S. sent three skaters who had medal potential at the Olympics, and you go back to 2002, where you had Michelle and Sarah and Sasha, and they were 1, 2, and 4, 1, 3, and 4. Sorry, 1, 3, and 4. And then you go back to 1992,
92.
when they sent the reigning world podium to the Olympics, and they were
Yeah.
also 1, 3, and 4 at the Olympics. But like none of those, neither of those trios had the kind of camaraderie and like
No.
whatever it is. Like, I mean, they were competitors. They were like
Yeah.
cutthroat competitors.
Yeah, Nancy and Tanya definitely weren't friends.
No. And this was before the incident.
Although I will say everyone loved Christy. And they still do because she's the best.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I didn't see Christy at Nationals this year. Did you see her?
No, I didn't see her either. That's rare that she doesn't go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually see her. But yeah, I mean, it's so interesting, and I do think the Amber Alyssa dynamic is very interesting because
Yeah.
I think there's the two of them feed off of each other and sort of give each other a little bit of themselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe part of Amber's continued improvement over the past couple of seasons in her mental game is that she's seen Alyssa do this and do it so nonchalantly. And she's like, maybe I could do that. And there's
Yeah.
a bit of the intensity of Amber that's probably rubbing off on Alyssa as well. And it's
Yeah.
it is as we are seeing in the chat, it is refreshing to see this kind
Yeah.
of energy. And it reminds me of what we saw at Japanese Nationals too, with the women there who are all supporting each other. I mean, when Kaori Sakamoto was skating,
And Wakaba was sobbing.
Wakaba was sobbing, Mai was sobbing, Ami and I don't even remember who it was. Ami and Yuna and Monet were in the green room holding
Yeah.
hands,
Yeah.
being nervous about whether
Yeah.
Kaori was going to skate a clean program, not because they wanted to win, but because they wanted her to skate a clean program.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of energy. And there is something to be said about these skaters believing that if they do their very best, it doesn't matter what everybody else does.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of that self-confidence that is very cool about it. I think
Yeah.
the competitive, like the cutthroat competitive energy sometimes has a bit of the imposter syndrome that's part of it. And, whatever it is, I hope they continue. And if that continues, this Olympic women's event is going to be something else.
Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
It's,
I don't even know where to start.
yeah.
I mean,
And that's just
I don't know
US and
what's gonna
Japan.
happen.
That's just
Yeah.
US and Japan. There's so much more.
yeah.
Oh. Well, that was
Don't
the
forget
pairs.
about Gia.
Yeah.
So, Adelia, Luna.
Gia Shin, Adelia Petrosian. Plenty more that we need to
Luna
talk
Hendricks.
about. Yeah. Amelia Nemirovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be an Olympics, a very deep field for the Olympics for sure. Well, that was the pairs and the women, and there's so much more to talk about.
I've got a lot left on my list.
What have you not checked off for pairs and women? Have you checked everything off for pairs and women?
I've checked everything off for pairs and women. I had one thing on here about how Tara Lipinski's 2-year-old daughter, Georgie, who I've known all of her life and is still a little bit shy around me, was so charmed by Brady during warm-up. She was like, right there, her, that one. And then Brady came over by us and did a loop and like waved hi to her. And Georgie was like, oh, so starstruck. And I was like, hey, I'm right here. You can smile at me too.
Amazing.
Yeah. I think also watching you like wheel and deal in the stands with all the fans coming down trying to buy pins. You've got like 3 screens open. You've got like Canadians, the scoring, the national scoring, your box of tendies, and then you're running back and forth to sell people pins in the stands. It was funny.
The pins were going. They were like hotcakes,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
skaters were loving the protocol pins. So
Oh, yay. Yes. Before we get into dance, Maddie Hubble proudly wearing her stationary lift base pin. It was incredible.
yeah, that pin was obviously inspired by Maddie Hubble and her reaction to her stationary lift space at 4 Continents a number of years ago. And
2019.
I had been debating whether or not to give it to her, and I
Yeah.
went up to her very like shyly and was like, so I have this pin, Maddie Hubble. Would you be offended or would you love it if I gave this to you? And immediately, like right away, she was like, I'd love it.
Aww.
So
Yeah. She said later, she brought it up that Christine and Anthony don't have a stationary lift in either program. So she wasn't jinxing them by taking it. She had no conflicts. She can just, enjoy the bee.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there were a number of of skaters slash coaches who was like, I will get this pin later when I don't feel like I'm jinxing anybody. But
Yeah.
speaking of dance, we know that the pattern step sequence level 4 has been very elusive this season,
Oh.
and
But
and
someone has gotten it.
yes, so Pate and Bai got it at Lombardia Trophy.
Yeah.
And so I gave them the pattern step 4 pins like right during practice. And when as soon as Emilia Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik came off the ice after the rhythm dance and they got a level 4, they
Yeah.
were the only ones to get the level 4. I was like scrambling to find it and I just like literally gave it to them right as they were walking past me.
Ah.
Emilia did not take that pin off for days. She was
She
so
never
proud.
will.
She was so proud of that pattern step 4.
She's probably still wearing it in Michigan right now.
Goes where she goes.
I mean, PST4 is hard to get,
very
even the
hard.
season that isn't weird like this
Yeah.
one.
It's
So,
always been hard to get.
good for them. Yeah.
And by the way, it is hard to get because you have to basically do every single turn correctly. And both partners have to do it correctly. They used to split the PSTs into into both partners. But now they've combined it, and so both partners have to do it correctly in order for them to get those levels. So it's a thing.
So speaking of pins, I had this on my list as well. Ina Bauer 26 from Twitter is giving out pins. I got one that has Christina and Anthony that says CPOM World Domination Agenda. And she also gave me this one that says Reform the Ice Dance Technical Committee. And it has a picture of Sean Redstead in jail. So I didn't put this one on, but I was wearing the CPOM World Domination Agenda pin proudly.
Sean Redstead,
All
I
over
hope,
St.
I
Louis.
hope you're not listening to this podcast. He was at Nationals. I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him in the dog area.
Yeah.
He was petting Jupiter.
So yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about dance.
Yes.
What a deep field of ice
That was
dance.
an insane event. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much talent.
So much.
Everyone was so well prepared. Well, almost everyone competed so well. Great event to watch. Great practices to watch. I was so happy. I was a happy girl at those practices.
I'm gonna say this, and this is an observation. I observed that when Amy Toy and Jonathan Rogers skated, that I got a number of text messages and replies that were very thirsty.
Well, they're both very nice looking.
They I'm like, can you also appreciate the fact that they are very good ice dancers?
Yeah. And they did well. They did really well this
They
year.
did. They're top 10.
Yeah.
They continue to improve. I liked them last year when I saw them, and I remember being like, I was not expecting this from them. And they went over 170 here. They were close to the Shibs. They were close to Neset Markelov. Obviously, the Shibs had mistakes. They beat Peyton Bai, who had a huge mistake in the free dance. It was very unfortunate. That twizzle sequence where their blades
It was him.
clashed. Was it him?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Maybe he got too close.
Yeah.
And they clipped blades, and he just went flying. It was a little scary of a fall.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a 10-point mistake.
Oh yeah,
It was brutal.
yeah.
From a team that should have been, close to the top 5.
Yep. I mean, they would have been 8th had they done it all correctly, if not higher. So yeah, it was unfortunate, and I really like that free dance for them, the Lion King. So
Yeah.
should we talk about the Shibs? Speaking of returns to competitions that didn't quite work out.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've made this perspective clear, but I'm very annoyed at whoever told the Shibutanis that their first rhythm dance this season was not
Same,
good,
same.
wasn't on theme. That program was fun and it was very on theme, and excuse them for being creative and getting into the theme and making a good program with it. It was interesting.
And
And I,
frankly, it being like a very personality driven program too.
yes, yes, which really was good for them.
Yeah.
The canned heat rhythm dance they had, I thought was built really nicely, but you could tell they had very few reps with it. It was just slow and, just not that comfortable on them. And they were dumped pretty early right out the gate with a 71. And I was looking at all the teams that had left to skate and how when the last time was any of them scored that low, and not recently. I mean, it was pretty clear that they were going to be down there, and they were 10th after the rhythm dance.
I
Which
mean,
is just
what was very telling was that they got the levels.
yeah. His
They got
midline went up to a 4.
no, the midlines ended up being threes.
Threes?
They had two threes on the midline. They had a pattern step three, but the grades of execution were so mediocre across the board
Yeah.
for all of them. I mean, the rotational lift that they did was a rotational lift that they did 8 years ago,
Yeah.
more or less.
Oh, he got a 4 in the free dance.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their lifts are very vintage.
Yeah. And to your point about it being just not having enough reps, it one did not have enough reps, and two, because it didn't have enough reps and it didn't they probably just didn't have that much time to choreograph that thing. It felt very generic and it felt
Yes.
very safe. Whereas their original rhythm dance felt very fresh and different
Yes.
and also them.
Yes.
And,
Totally.
and they were maybe hoping that the safe route would get them better scores, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in the free dance, they made some changes across that free dance, and then the fact that the element that they were known for was the thing
Yeah.
that completely
signature
messed
element.
up. Yep. The
Yeah.
twizzles were just completely off. He lost his center early in the first. Was it first twizzle or second
I
twizzle?
think the second one.
Oh, yeah. It was the forward outside
then
ones that he does not like.
He got into her pattern, and then
yeah.
she couldn't do her third.
She couldn't do her
So
third.
they both got a level 1.
Yeah.
And it took away, that was the crescendo of the music, when they put their arms up.
Yeah.
And it just really kind of sucked the life out of the program there. And, they were crushed afterward, understandably. But, yeah.
They lost like 7 points
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
So that was tough to watch, and I think I heard them talk after the program, after the free dance, and they were saying they don't know what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to stick around and give it another shot? They don't know. Are they going to retire? They don't know. But it's just, it was maybe too little, too late. But it was also that you can really see, frankly, how much the rest of the U.S. dance field has improved relatively over the last 8 years. And even 8 years ago, we were all saying like, oh my God, the U.S. dance field is so deep. Like, it's gotten deeper since then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the skating skills were very comparable. They still have very good partnering. They still have very good, edges, turns, all that sort of stuff. But you watch them skate versus everybody else, and it feels safe. It feels like
Yeah.
they're not as assertive as everybody else is, and had
The
I
speed and the power is
yeah,
there.
it that hadn't come back yet.
Yeah.
And even when they were at their peak, it wasn't they weren't power skaters, right? Like you
Yeah.
put them next to Hubble and Donahue, and you see the difference between the power between those two teams. But the thing that they always had was consistency and precision,
Yeah.
and that just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I missed part of Nesset and Markolov's free dance because the Shibutanis were staying in the Kiss and Cry for quite a long time, and it's like I kind of kept looking over there, and Alex was really upset.
Yeah.
And the coaches were trying to comfort him, and they spent a long time over there, and then I know they stayed in the hallway for a while before they went to the mix zone, and I
Yeah.
think emotionally for them, it was probably really challenging to have, they probably were like fighting through it with their like competitive mindset. And then when it was over, it was just, a big letdown. And the reality of it is, I guess kind of shocking when you expect that you're going to do a lot better than that.
Yeah. I think they
Yeah.
expected more of themselves, and I also think that they knew they weren't up to par with what they would have liked to have been in terms of where they were with their basic skating and all of that stuff. And maybe there was a surprise that the field is so deep. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey,
Yeah.
let's talk about the other stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Brady and Somerville's Vogue.
Oh my gosh, they were so good. Their rhythm dance. I read a quote with Ian where he was saying in the mix zone that they got a lot of bad feedback about it and told them to change it, and they really didn't want to because the program was so special to them, and they really like pushed through. They worked with Gravity Jacobs. Am I saying that name correctly? Gravity something Jacobs, I think, and a dancer, and they did
A
a
Voguist.
yes, a lot of off ice work. Adam knows them and is familiar with their work, and that program was so good. I mean, that was just exceptional the way they competed. It. Gabby said it was perfect. They did everything right.
Gravity
Gravity.
Jacobs.
Yeah. Okay.
The pronouns he, him, or they, them. So he is an active an active ballroom participant with 6 to 7 years of experience of trying to create online resources for Vogue that he
Cool.
wishes that existed when they were just starting out.
Yeah. Cool.
So online resources for voguing.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, you could tell they put in they put in the work. He said 60% of that
Yeah.
program changed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they skated they skated so well. It was cool. They I think they took out the little breakdance move in the middle of their midline, which I kind of missed, but I didn't miss because it actually felt like it interrupted the flow of that step sequence a little too much. Whereas when Una and Gage do their headstands, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes a little bit longer for Emily and Ian to get into that breakdance move. But anyway, it was great. I think they were very proud of the strides they had made in both programs, and the fact that they ended up fifth here was a good result for them, especially after the season that they've had.
Yeah.
I thought Green and Parsons had a great rhythm dance too.
So good. Both of their programs were great. They were just so on it. And their material's so fresh. It just always feels innovative and different. And,
They're cool.
respect them. Yeah.
They're
Being
so
cool
cool.
and being brave enough to be cool.
Yeah.
And doing something that's like a little weird, a little unusual. And God, their edge quality is so good. And I feel like they were a little bit underscored at this
Me
competition. I think
too.
they were just, you know,
Me
and
too.
it really, those two teams, it really sucks because they were the first and second alternates in Beijing, and they are the first and second alternates again.
Well,
And
and Michael Parsons, a three-time Olympic alternate now.
yeah,
Um,
brutal.
it I got to say that they're, as much as I love Caroline and Michael's free dance, the free dance was work for them.
Yeah.
He held on to a lot of things, and it was very subtle. But there were a couple lifts that had he not been, had he not really fought for them, they could have come down or they could have messed up. And their 1 foots were as very good and assertive as those 1 foots were. They were not as strong as the others, especially on the counter and the bracket that I saw. So yeah, it's tough to again be in that position for them here. So uh, there's a comment in the chat about sending Una Brown and Gage Brown to Four Continents over Brady Somerville. That has
Yeah, I thought that was unusual.
I thought that had everything to do with the season and how the Browns had a better season than Brady Somerville, and not by a little, but by a fairly large margin. And so I think they took that into account, and the fact that they were first and second, or no, they were fifth and sixth, right next to each other, by less than 3 points. I think that's where it went.
I'm still a little salty about that, though.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the Browns, they have great programs too. It's just
Free dance was awesome.
yeah, free dance was great. They often get credit at national championships more than they do at international events, and I think it's great that they're getting that kind of credit here. But it's a little bit of Sophie's choice with those two teams sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, again, bearing the lead, the Olympic team will be Chalk Bates, Zingis Kolesnik, Carrera Ponomarenko. And I saw Christina Carrera after she got on the team, and I was like, are you satisfied now that you've gotten the Olympic team and you're a U.S. citizen? She was like, I'm not gonna lie. There were a few months there where I was like, am I doing this for the right reason?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was very happy, and I think the combination of Emily Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik and Christina Carrera, Anthony Henrique going to the Olympics, they were both of those teams were ecstatic. Zingis Kolesnik probably were on the back foot starting with this season, and they made such a push to the point where they are now being pushed as the number 2 team for the U.S.
Well, I think it was really interesting how Vadim had surgery in the spring to address some issues. He had like a hernia issue. He had hip issue. I think he just had injections for his hip. But addressing those issues allowed him to train longer every day. I think they were doing like 2 to 3 hours, and they went from that to 4 to 5 hours and doing all these extra run-throughs. And it, really elevated their level.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's sustainable and it's not hard on his body, but it's like been great this season in terms of lifting them up.
The thing I appreciate about them is they are, maybe of all the teams, they are always going for their elements very assertively. It's a little, it's different, but a little bit similar to kind of what Hubble Donahue used to be like, where they were sort of always sort of on the edge, and there was like that excitement about them being on the edge of disaster.
So far, no significant disasters, though.
Right.
Knock on wood, but Hubble Donahue had a few of those.
Yeah. But just like, random calls that they got. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's the thing that I have appreciated about their
Mm-hmm.
improvements this season. So that is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Carrera Ponomarenko, what were your thoughts on the LaBouche changes?
Labouche. Oh, I loved it so much. Okay, that practice day, the warm up before the rhythm dance, when we had both them and Nessa Markelov with the Labouche, I had chills all over my body. Anthony and Christina's rhythm dance. Oh my God. So they changed the elements around. They started with a lift at the beginning, and they did
It
that
was
lift
so
that's
much better. So much better
very
this time.
similar to Virtue and Moyer's Moulin Rouge opening lift. And yes, the placement of the elements, phenomenal. The new costumes, these costumes were like so hot. They were gorgeous. Just really early 90s, like dark glam. They were phenomenal with chains, with like mesh. I loved it. And that program was just so good. They skated it so well. So well. I was so happy for them. And I was happy for me because I was in heaven. And I can't
I was
judge it
also happy
objectively.
for you.
Yes. Um, I really I felt like watching them go back to back with Zingas Kolesnik. I felt like the Zingas Kolesnik had much stronger edge quality, particularly in the midline. I still felt like Carrera Ponomarenko had a few things that they like needed to do, but it was pretty clear on practice that they were going to be the number 3 team, and I think that was right. I yeah. And I was so happy to see the perfume free dance back. I mean, that choreo step is the best choreo step in ice dance this season, period. Like, I love that it's on the vertical axis. I love the way they use it to tell a story. Their expression, their presentation, so good. And all around, was so happy for them and happy for Anthony's parents, who I am a big fan of. And we're not there because they're extremely superstitious and
Yes.
don't come to nationals.
They
So,
are very much so.
yeah.
So I was telling Anthony this after all the skating was over.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually known Anthony Ponomarenko since he was a kid
Yeah.
because
Because of his parents.
well, no, because I trained in San Jose.
Oh.
And so I knew Paulina when she was like
Mm-hmm.
4 years old. I knew Anthony
Yeah.
when he was a kid,
2.
however young he was.
Yeah.
But I remember them saying like, "Oh, Klimova and Ponomarenko had this son who is also a figure skater." I was like, "Okay, interesting." So it's a small world, and
Yeah.
also
I
also,
loved.
also I'm old.
Go ahead. Well, I loved in the I mean, I'm old too. I loved in the gala how they had people's parents put their Olympic jackets on, but for him, they had Polina Edmonds there putting his jacket on because his parents were there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really special because I know they've been lifelong friends. And I remember vividly at 2014 Nationals in Boston when Polina was 15 and she was making the Olympic team and going to all of her press conferences and the mix zone and whatever, walking around. 13-year-old Anthony was glued to her side. He was with her for all of it. And I noticed that because, of who his parents are. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely watched him compete in the dance event too, junior dance probably at that time. But it was just so full circle. And here we are 3 Olympic cycles later, and he's finally the one making an Olympic team.
Right.
It was so nice they had Polina there.
Yeah.
I felt like he was such a part of her Olympic nationals experience. And
Yeah.
that was sweet.
But you could tell Carrera Ponomarenko have put in a lot of work since
much.
all of the like fall craziness
Yeah.
with their levels and with their grades of execution and with their their rhythm dance, especially that lift never really worked. And now that they've changed it around, it works a lot better.
Yeah.
Could they be sassier and sexier with LaBouche? They could. They got another few weeks for it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Zinkas Kolesnik's rhythm dance is still one of my favorites of the season. I think
this is hot
so
take, but I
different.
feel like they should have won the segment. They were freaking great.
I don't disagree with you. The difference in skating energy intensity for Chalk and Bates between the rhythm dance and the free dance is so vast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it
Um,
has a lot to do with the Lenny Kravitz music,
yeah.
where it's a little bit s-
Mm-hmm.
flat in some
Mm-hmm.
ways.
It's
There's
very
never
radio friendly.
there's never a point where you feel like it's like exciting and boppy, because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Kravitz is not exciting and boppy. Lenny Kravitz
Yeah.
is like some kind of alternative rock slash friendly adult contemporary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so um I don't know what it is about that rhythm dance.
Mm-hmm.
They don't skate it out like they would otherwise. I
Yeah.
don't know. It doesn't work as well. And their free dance here was so good.
Yeah.
I thought they
Yeah.
skated that free dance incredibly well.
Yeah.
Um, Now I was also multitasking during that time, so I don't know if there were like weird random nuance things that happened
Yeah.
during that free dance that I didn't catch, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah. It
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. The Zingis Kolesnik was really good in that
Mm-hmm.
rhythm
Yeah,
dance,
I felt like an
they
86
and
for that was a little conservative if
yeah,
chalk baits are
right,
getting 91.
right, yeah. Especially with the levels that they were getting too. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, PSD4, and they got a
Mm-hmm.
3 and a 4 in the red line.
Yeah.
It was almost straight fours for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But neither here nor there. They, you know, this panel had to make sure that they do the thing
Mm-hmm.
with Chalk and Bates, because everybody else is doing the thing with their
Yeah.
gold medal favorites, and you can't miss out.
Yeah.
Um, so
I have one more dance shout out
what's
before we move on. So, I mean, obviously,
you're going to talk
you know,
about Wolf Kostin and Zarevsky, aren't you? With their
oh no, I
Kill Bill.
loved them and I thought they were very musical and I want to talk about them. No, no, no. I need to talk about Bella Flores and Linus Kolmer Jepsen, who are training in Lyon. I called them over to the mix zone. I talked to them for a long time about that rink. Not only because I'm a very big fangirl of the Olivier Schoenfelder, Muriel Boucher Zazouis School of Ice Dance, but I was very impressed by and intrigued by their programs. Their choreography felt very fresh
Mm.
and different compared to a lot of the teams at nationals. And I just think it's such an interesting choice to be training in France and skating for the U.S. And they talked about how the U.S. Federation kind of offered them the most, like the most support, the most opportunity, and that's why they chose it. Even though for citizenship, it's going to be probably
Another
insurmountable.
yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
who knows? But loved their programs. I thought they were so creative, and it felt cool to see something different. And it really made me realize like how similar a lot of the programs we are seeing in terms of like, because they're all kind of choreographed by like one or two groups like of people.
Yeah.
So that was a highlight for me. I loved them, and I was a big fan.
But I think part of it is that's also why like Zingis Kolesnik's program stands out.
Yeah,
And
totally.
also
Same thing.
why Green and Parsons program stands out,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, not Montreal.
Yeah. There's something to
Um,
that.
On our NBC show, Gabby was talking about how she really felt the teams that train with Tanith and Greg in Canton have such impressive musicality. Like all of them have these programs that are choreographed so well to the music. And I think a lot of that comes from Jean-Luc Baker too, who works with those teams. Yeah.
And Jean-Luc's an interesting one because he works with like a lot of teams,
Yeah.
both in Montreal
Yeah.
and in Michigan.
Yeah.
So he's got multiple allegiances. Hi, John Luke, if you're listening.
Hi, Jean-Luc.
Okay, so that's dance for you. The Chalk Bates, Zingis Kolesnik, Carrera Ponomarenko going to the Olympics, also assigned at this point, and I say assigned to Worlds because
I have no doubt that Chalk and Bates will be at Worlds.
oh really?
They can win gold in the team event, gold in the individual event. They love to skate. They love to compete. I don't think they can say no.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
I feel like they're gonna be like Olympics and we're done. I don't know. one of those, I guess we'll see. But the four continents assignments will be Green and Parsons, Brown and Brown, and Zynga Kolesnik.
Mm-hmm. So we're making a push for that last warm-up group in Milan.
So somebody was tweeting to me that that's
Yeah.
not possible because
Oh.
fifth place or fifth on the world standings, they were saying was Piper and Paul, and they're so far ahead that it won't be possible. I have not corroborated that, but there's also the so if it's not that, it is also the fact that they are eighth right now in the world standings, and there are a bunch of European teams who are going to Europeans, and so it is either that they're making a push for the top five, which may or may not be right, or they are trying to defend their spot in the second to last group, and that's the potential
Yeah.
thing that they're trying to do. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Maybe they just want one more rep in a championship event before the Olympics.
It is all possible. Yeah. So Piper and Paul have 37.98 right now, and they are in fifth. Carrera Ponomarenko are in sixth in world standings, 35.30. So, if you're
What?
thinking about world standings, and getting the championship standings in there, I guess Carrera Ponomarenko could get up there.
And Zangas is probably going to win four continents, right? I mean, there's not really anyone
Right.
that can challenge them
Well,
there.
the Canadians aren't going, so
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other potential there.
Maybe they're going for the money. I don't know.
Because- yeah, I think this was very much a decision that was made by the committee to be like, this is strategic for some reason,
Yeah.
because they are
Yeah.
literally the only Olympic team members who are going to four continents. So there's a reason for that.
I wonder if that also means that Maddie and Evan are doing both segments in the team event.
That could very well be a signal for that. And I was saying this in my fan meetup and also last night in my recap.
Yeah, how was the meetup?
The meetup was fun. It was good.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sad
There's-
I missed it. I was wildly
Sleeping.
throwing my shit into my suitcase to get out of there before our 10:30 production meeting.
Michelle, we're gonna have to bleep you in the podcast. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, I swore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It just came out. I'm tired.
No, it was fun. It was a good time. It basically became a fan Q&A because I was completely unstructured in what I was doing.
Oh,
so
fun.
it was fun. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But what was I just talking about? What were we just talking about? Oh, Zyngas Kolesnik,
Yeah.
four continents. I don't know what we're talking about. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out. But those are your three teams. And oh yeah, the team event. The thing I was saying about the team event yesterday was that on paper, in order for the US to maximize points and do the things that they need to do, the best team is likely that they don't split pairs, they don't split dance, and they don't split men, and they split women.
Yeah. And this is like, I know they like to let people make decisions and whatever, but it's going to be tight between the US and Japan.
Absolutely.
I mean, they need to be strategic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Need to crunch numbers. But there was a whole rumor yesterday, and I actually don't think it was a rumor. I think the US Figure Skating might have actually said it, that they were going to announce the team event today. And I was like, in what world is that a good idea?
Yeah, no, seriously.
you don't-
Although I do know last Olympics they decided who was doing the team event while we were still at nationals.
Yes. It's very possible that they have decided already. But to show your cards this early is not a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Agree.
and I remember the last couple of Olympics, you didn't hear about who was going to the team event until the very last minute for basically
Yeah.
every single country.
And then we found out who was doing the free skate based on who showed up on the
Yeah.
entry list.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, yeah,
Yeah.
a little mystery goes a long way.
Right. So
I
we'll
was very stressed out in 2018 because I didn't know that China was using basically their B team in the team event. And I thought that if they had used Boyang Jin and Swain Han, and it was going to be pretty close with the US. But in the end, they did not use them, and it was fine. The US
Right.
got a medal. Anyway.
Yeah, the dynamics will be very interesting, and I think the team event will be very competitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, why are we closing out with men? We're close out with men.
That's how the event ended.
It is how the
And
event
honestly,
ended.
my favorite moment of the event after La Bouche was in the men's event. And this was like an honest level of being impressed. I mean, with La Bouche, I feel like psychologically, I'm so, obsessed with that music. It does something to me physically where I can't help but enjoy myself. But this was like, I was truly impressed with this.
See, your La Bouche is my "It's Raining Men" by Jimmy.
Oh my
Fallon.
God.
I literally ran out of the press conference for
Yeah.
for the free dance because I could not watch Jimmy Ma do
Yeah.
Can't Take
Raining
My
Men.
Eyes Off You, It's
Yeah.
Raining Men, Macho
whole
Man, and
Arena
YMCA.
doing YMCA. Yeah.
There was no way in the world that I was going
Yeah.
to prioritize typing out and transcribing the free dance press conference
Yeah.
for Jimmy Ma. And
Yeah.
so and I had no regrets because
No.
that was such a fun program.
I mean, I'm
And-
surprised the dancers didn't leave too. Like, that was unmissable. We will now take a 15-minute intermission
Yeah,
so we can watch
exactly.
Jimmy Ma.
Exactly. That was rude of US figure skating to schedule the free
Mm-hmm. Truly.
dance press conference during Jimmy Ma.
Right? There's a big overlap between people interested in both of those things.
So I mean, Jimmy was so into that program that he gassed himself so much for the last jumps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I would much rather have him overperform the program than just land his jumps and not, because that program
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is so fun.
Yeah.
And he changed his program so that he could have this moment at nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much a swan song kind of program for
Mm-hmm.
him. And you could see the emotions at the end. And I was like, this is too early for me to be crying in the men's free skate
To the village people.
to the village people.
Yeah.
But I got emotional after Jimmy Ma skated because he was very emotional.
Yeah.
And the crowd was just so good to him.
What are we gonna do without him?
We just need, like, can he just come back and do that
I
program
know.
over and over again?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was talking in the mix zone about how I talked to him before, like earlier in the week, about how emotionally fatiguing it is to train that program for him because he's such an introvert. And
Yeah.
it's like he really feels like he has to perform it when he practices it, and it's just a lot. And it's really interesting that Jimmy is so good at being such a showman, but it takes so much out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secret power.
I know how that works. I'm an introvert too. And
Oh yeah, me too.
and-
You don't see me doing YMCA. I'm in my house with my dog on my couch with the doors locked. That's how it should be.
like literally every single day I am in the arena and I have to
Yeah.
I have to turn it on for this, that, or the other. I go back to the hotel and I'm just like dead to the world because
Crawl in bed with a tendy.
as much as much as I love it, it also
Yeah.
drains me so much, drains the
Yeah.
energy so much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the perils of being a fake extrovert.
Yeah. I mean, you're like recognizable and people know who you are. I feel like no one knows who I am, and they're only paying attention to the people I'm working for. So I'm pretty undercover.
Yeah.
You're like out there.
Wait till we start getting you on video for these podcasts.
No, I can't do it. No.
I know podcast listeners that there's a lot of requests for Michelle to show her face on camera for once.
Oh my God.
We're gonna make it happen.
Let's see.
Gonna make it happen.
Maybe we should put it behind a paywall.
This is rocker skating. There are no paywalls.
No paywalls.
No paywalls. They're only pins. You can.
Well, Jimmy Ma may have been
pins.
your experience.
Yeah.
that
So
night,
what was
but-
yours?
I mean, obviously Torgashev's free skate. Life affirming. That man has been through a weird season, a lot of personal drama, all kinds of stuff. Who knows what's going on? Falls in the short program. It was like he was at the very end, and like something came out like inside of him. It was like that. It's like that spirit we saw. I'll never forget his short program at 2022 Nationals. That was the most incredible, powerful Russian thing. And then we didn't see him again for a while because he got injured. But like that was it. It was like he had to do it, and he was determined to land those jumps. That free skate for me was better than anything I saw in the women's event combined. That was like 10 out of 10. I was
Wow.
alive. I was living. The step sequence, the flight in that step sequence. Oh, I don't want to get too like Russophile in here, but that was like Russian excellence. That was beautiful.
Of all of them, he was the one who really skated to win.
That was Yagudin-esque.
I mean, Ilya won, obviously, but he skated to get it done.
Yeah. I think he was in a little bit of pain.
He
never
was.
was completely clear with us about what exactly it was. I think it was all the boots. He had a really rough warm up earlier in the day,
And the rough,
and was not doing all of his
rough
content.
practice, rough everything. It was
Okay.
it was so weird.
This is a big issue for me. Okay, these components in the free skate. How on earth did Ilya? I'm pointing aggressively at my computer right now. How on earth did Ilya score almost 6 points more in components than Andrew? No, 7 than Andrew.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's unacceptable. And you agree with me?
I do.
Yeah.
So the part of this is also that by the time Ilya was skating, the energy in the building was so weird.
Yeah, it was so weird.
It was so incredibly weird because at
Yeah.
that point, Jason had imploded. Tomoki had not imploded, but people were expecting him to have been
Yeah.
in
I was.
second going into
Yeah.
or leading going into
Yeah.
in second at that point because Andrew Torgashev had skated so
I
well,
expected him to be in first or second when
Yeah.
Ilya took the ice,
Yeah.
and he wasn't.
and he was fourth. And so the energy was so outrageously weird that I could barely pay attention to what Ilya was doing out there, except
Yeah.
for the fact that I was like, oh, these are the jumps. So
And they're not quads.
I couldn't really understand how he was doing in terms of the actual program because all I was focusing on was just like the jumps and my brain was was like malfunctioning the whole time.
It wasn't what Andrew did. It was not. Oh, that free skate was so freaking good. It's like Torgashev kills me because when he is on, he
He's
is
so good. He really is.
I mean, he's one of the best. He's extraordinary. But then he can go do so much worse than that too.
Yeah.
It's the span he has between what he can do and what he often does is so large. But
I mean,
I was so happy for him.
I mean, he goes from 8th place at Worlds to 22nd, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the kind of
Yeah.
stuff that happens with
He
him.
goes from that NHK free skate this season to this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's extraordinary.
There is something about these American men who
Mm-hmm.
love to peak at nationals and then
Yeah.
not do anything anywhere else.
Yeah.
And the one who doesn't do that tends to be Jason Brown.
Oh my God, Jason.
I just the
Uh,
what
Jason had a good warm up too in the
he had
morning.
an incredibly good warm up.
Yeah.
The very last jump that he did in the 6 minute warm up
Hmm.
was the best triple axel that I have seen from him all week. And I
Yeah.
looked at it and I was like, good. We're
It's
back.
fine. Yeah.
We're back.
And then
And we weren't back.
and he did a 0A trademark rocker skating.
God. I
There's nothing worse than a waltz jump. It's just like, oh
Hi-
no.
you could tell that he knew when he went into that program that he needed to be perfect or near perfect.
Yeah.
And the second he took off on that triple axel, I have never seen him that crooked on a triple axel
Yeah.
in
He's
years.
usually straight up and
It's
down.
straight up and down. Yeah, he might under rotate it, he might whatever, but his jump technique is very consistently straight up and down always. He
Yeah.
does not lean on jumps, and the fact that he like slipped off his blade on his takeoff and was leaning forward, I just like it could have been a complete fluke of fluke
Yeah.
kind of a thing, or it could be his brain playing games on him,
Yeah.
but that music does not help.
No, the music. Oh no. Speaking of people to have conversations with in the future about what happened, I'm really interested to hear his take on it when
Yeah.
he's less emotional about it. But I feel like it was maybe, I don't know, a buildup of doubt. And then when he went out there, it just hit him.
There
I don't know. And then all the double jumps.
I mean, I think you're right. I think you're right about the doubt thing, because I do think
And
he has
yeah.
been doubting himself this season, period.
Uh-huh. And then the
And
criticism after his short program score.
yeah. And he doubts himself more in program than outside of program. And his triple axels have been not good in run throughs all week, but they've been
Yeah.
fine elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that was so frustrating about watching him in practice all week long. And I'm like, it's there. It's just somehow it's not clicking in your programs. And when he landed the triple axel in the short program, you were like, okay, well, it looks like it's back, right? When he landed the triple axel, the two triple axels that he did in the 6 minute warm up, you think, okay, well, it's back. And
Yeah.
then the second it went away, his entire brain just like imploded, and you could
Yeah.
see like the waltz jump, the subsequent two pops. That was him completely disoriented and did not know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
if he were not if he were not as upstanding as Jason Brown, he would have, like, that was one of those where it's like, I'm just gonna quit midway through a program because my brain is not in it anymore.
Yeah. He did fight.
He fought the entire second half of that program. He knew that, like, after that first half, he knew there was nothing left.
Yeah.
But he fought, and I love that he did. But it was heartbreaking to see him backstage, because Tracy Wilson walked by and she had tears in her eyes.
Yeah.
He was trying to put on a happy face, and that he was
Yeah.
devastated.
Yeah.
And he knew that it was over at that point.
And it's so tragic because he's really supported U.S. men's skating through this quad. I mean, the reason we have 3 spots at the Olympics to give away in the first place is because of him. The reason we had 3 spots at Worlds is like, I don't know if it was this past year, it was because of him, because we did have Torgashev, but like,
No, it
he's
was.
always up
was,
there.
It was definitely because of him, because Torgashev was 22nd.
No, the year before that.
He's been 4th, 5th, 6th every
Yeah.
single year.
He's just always, and And to see it sort of come apart this year when he's so close is just really, oh, I feel for him. It's so frustrating. And it's like, you know, it may take him a while to know really what happened and what went wrong.
Yeah.
But
He is assigned to the world team.
yeah.
And that goes to show in his case how
Hmm.
much the fall season was actually very important to the selection criteria for him.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only man that like broke 250 this
Exactly.
fall,
Exactly.
besides Ilya, obviously.
Yeah. And the thing was we kept talking about how Tomoki was more consistently higher scoring than everybody else. When I looked at the numbers the morning of the selection committee meeting,
Hmm.
what was very clear to me was that Andrew and Tomoki were actually much closer than we thought they were,
Mm,
because Tomoki, even though he was consistent and landing jumps, was still scoring in the 230s a lot. I
yeah.
think he had one that was 240, but
Hmm.
Torgashev had a couple of 230s, and then he had that dip in
Yeah.
Finlandia. But the and you know, everybody sort of had a dip at some point. Same with Max. You know, he had one very good competition. He had a couple of average competitions, and it
Hmm.
was they were all very close to each other. And there was
Yeah.
really, if you looked at the scores, if anything, Tomoki had a slight advantage, but it was
Hmm.
not the advantage that Jason had over everybody else.
No.
And therefore, right, had
Hmm.
I would contend that had Jason finished fourth here, they would have put him on the Olympic team.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the fallout. People would have been beside themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Ross Minor not making the team would have been nothing if they put Jason on the team over Max.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But
fortunately,
that,
we didn't have to deal with that situation, but still. Yeah.
fortunately and also unfortunately, there was a lot of, I mean,
Yeah.
it was the storylines, the emotions, the
Hmm.
whatever, everything that came into this, the
Yeah.
fact that Tomoki felt like a front runner and then dropped to
Yeah.
fourth, and that was basically it. Like that, there was
His short program was great.
yeah,
And I don't know what, so working with Terry Gannon at NBC, I don't know what his schedule was this fall, but he hadn't seen that short program before. And Tomoki comes out and he pointed to the bio. He's like, skating to Freebird? I was like, yeah, get ready. And then Tomoki just laid down that short program. And, Terry loves classic rock. He was loving it. It was so good.
and
I mean, even the quad was a little under rotated, but still, it's such a good vehicle for
he
him. And
was
I
he
thought
was
I thought he
just
was halfway there.
yeah, he was just so much more free. No,
Mm-hmm.
no pun intended. In the
Mm-hmm.
short program, the free skate came out nervy and tight,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it got tighter and tighter during the
Mm-hmm.
program. He was skating really small,
Yeah.
and I kept being like, every single one of these jumps are just too scratchy.
Hemorrhaging GOE.
Yeah,
Hemorrhaging.
especially when you compare it to like Torgashev.
Oh,
Always, like when he
the
lands his jumps,
freedom and the power.
they're so well landed,
Yeah.
and he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Max, when he lands his jumps, they are powerfully, they come out
Yeah.
powerfully. Tomoki's jumps are always a bit smaller and
Mm-hmm.
and have less flow out of them, and that would have been okay had he done
Mm-hmm.
them the way that he usually does them.
Yeah.
But there was so many just little itty bitty things that
Mm-hmm.
just all added up that
Yeah.
it was very close among those three, and by those three I
Mm-hmm.
mean Max and Jacob, and we'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, Max and Jacob and Tomoki, and it could have gone either way, but the big thing that happened with
Mm-hmm.
Tomoki was he forgot to finish his three combos.
Yeah. Because he left out that double axle on the triple axle. So then he got solo triple axle. So he got 70% of the base value. And then it's like he didn't put it back in anywhere else.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I had an interesting conversation with Mia Hamada, who traveled to St. Louis for this competition. She was not, so Megan Duhamel and Mia Hamada both at their first ever U.S. championships. And Mia Hamada was talking about the work she had done on Tomoki's technique, his basic
Hmm.
skating. She makes him do figures, that she's very strict with him, and that has been, resulted in the improvement in consistency. And the other thing she was talking about was changing the way he does his jumps, because he was using bounce to rotate before, and now she was trying to make him have everything more vertical and, straight up and down rotate with his body rather than his bounce. And I was just, after talking to her, I was like, he's going to do it. I believe in him. And
And
yeah.
he went back to old habits.
Yeah, the bounce came back under pressure.
I mean,
Yeah.
the spins were slow. Like there was
Yeah.
just like there was a lot of tightness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a death by a thousand cuts. And the thing
Yeah.
was too, the Nationals panel could have decided
Yeah.
that they wanted to hold him up a little bit more, and they decided to score him more like they would score an international.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you look at his protocols, and it's just like half of the stuff is negative GOEs,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you just can't get past
Yeah.
it when that's
Yeah.
how it goes. And
Yeah.
he lost his lead. He had a
Yeah.
big lead.
Yeah.
Well, he had a not insignificant lead, not a big lead, but it was
Yeah.
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 Jacob Sanchez, though.
Oh,
Speaking of,
that triple axel, triple toe he opened his free skate with was glorious.
somebody gave him a +5, and I love that person for it.
Hell yeah. That's right. Let's see who it was.
Judge number 5. Judge number 5.
All right.
But
Roger Glenn.
Jacob has had a a very tough time all year long with this
Yeah.
free skate, and it wasn't until his last competition, I think it was Golden Spin, where he actually put out a strong free skate, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Thank goodness." And I just love, like, it's a little bit what we were talking about with Amelia Nemirovsky,
Mm-hmm.
where Jacob's got the whole package. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Amelia has a triple axle, and Jacob doesn't have a quad quite yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's landed quads in practice. He didn't land
does
it. He didn't land any
Flipping
here.
Lutz, right?
Quads.
Yeah.
He does
I don't
sow and Lutz.
I don't think he likes the other jumps as much.
He
so-
doesn't like the toe. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
He
I did his bio last year, but I didn't do it this year, so
yeah,
I'm not
he had
up on it.
he was doing quad sows in practice here.
Mm-hmm.
They were mostly under,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, the fact that he was trying them in practice here means something, right? Like he's
Yeah.
trying to like demonstrate to the whoever is watching from the
Mhm.
judging panel that like he's working on those,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he's working on Lutz. So that's
He was yeah, for sure.
those are the ones. It would have been very interesting had he finished in third.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with that? Oh
You put him on the team, Jackie.
my
Put
goodness.
him on the team.
My goodness. But he will be going to Four Continents, and he will be going to Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
I talked to him after. I actually saw him at the airport this morning, and he and his family were just very proud of the performances this week. But he was saying he's excited to go to Junior Worlds because the dynamics this season are really interesting between Rio and Minkyu, and he wants to
Yeah.
be part of that.
Step right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he skates like that again. He's got podium potential for sure.
Yeah.
He won't have the technical firepower to compete
Mm-hmm.
with a clean Rio or a clean Minkyu.
Mm-hmm.
But
But who knows if they're going to be clean?
Right, exactly. And Minkyu only has one quad in the free skate, and so
Mm-hmm.
the the margin is different, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
can't do quads in the junior men's short programs.
Yeah. Jacob could win the short program.
There are a lot of things that could happen.
Never know.
Yeah, and excited to see where he goes from there. But
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about how this is a setup for the next 4 years, and he
Mm-hmm.
set himself up very well with this performance
Yeah.
for the next 4 years, and get him a consistent quad or two, and he becomes a
Mm-hmm.
very different threat.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting.
Sam Mindra, short
Oh,
program.
Sam Mindra short program.
So good. He is such an artist. And he's such a goofball. We talked to him after one of his practices, and he was just like so silly and laughing and relaxed. And I was like, I'm glad you're having fun.
Well, when you're one of like 10 children, and he's like one of the younger of his siblings.
I think he's
too.
in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
middle half. He had 5 siblings and his parents there, and they drove from Portland. So
Yeah.
his situation is kind of crazy. Like he's training in oh my gosh,
Is it-
Snoqualmie. I don't know the Washington State. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. No offense to Washington State. I don't know how to pronounce it. But he's going up there. It's a 3-hour drive from Portland, and then he stays in a hotel 5 days a week, and then he goes home. Snoqualmie,
Mm.
Washington.
He was saying in the mix zone that one of his favorite skaters growing up was Adian Pitkaev.
Let's go.
Right?
That's random. I
Random
love
and
Adian.
random and also taste. Like
Yeah.
he was one of the I mean, he never became of like one of the top Russian senior guys, but as a junior, he's like such a different skater than the rest of the Russian
Yeah.
skaters. Like the artistry, the basics, right? Like you could tell why someone like a Sam Mindra would like that kind of skating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's an aside. But,
Snoqualmie. Snoqualmie.
so call
That's
me.
right.
So call me.
No, it's K. Did you ever end up chatting with Ice Cut Daddy?
Oh my gosh. We're not going to talk about Ice Cut Daddy here. This is
Jackie had
this is a professional podcast, please.
Jackie had enough going on. He had Canadians. He had live skating in front of him. He had people trying to buy pins, and then the people coming out cleaning the ice. They're all in fleeces. And then there's this one guy who is so jacked, and he's wearing like a painted on T-shirt with like every muscle. Every day is back day for him, and it's just like, the whole circus going around what Jackie's trying to do with Twitter. But yeah, he was cute.
Yep. Very distracting. Very distracting. Okay. Back to regularly scheduled
Okay, let's go.
programming.
That was on my list.
I can We're not going to talk about Kip, who gave me my smoothies.
Aw.
So I thought actually one of the highlights was Ilya's short program.
Yeah, it was great.
And I thought his short program was one of the best things I've ever seen him do, because he had really worked on the intricacies of the sort of detailing of that whole short program. And it was a different feeling of that short program than I've seen all season long. And it was obviously, again, my brain was malfunctioning during the free skate, and I didn't really understand what I saw from Ilya's free skate, but I thought his short program for the first time this season was stronger than his free skate for me.
So I feel like he was being very careful in his preparation because his feet hurt and he was in new boots. And I didn't really see him go full out in practice or even in that program. It was like he was more focused on the other stuff. And then he just did those quads. He didn't do them a lot, and he just did them in the program. And I think his attention to the other things was what was making it so strong. And he set like a personal best at nationals there. He came very close to beating Nathan Chen's record, but not quite. Not quite. So you're going to have to come back to nationals, Ilya, and break it. Not quite there.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The men's event was a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I really should have gone to those therapy dogs at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. All
But
right. You want to talk about Max?
oh my god, we haven't talked about Max.
Beautiful, beautiful skates from Max. Really amazing crowd support for him. And it was like he told Andrea in his arrival interview before the free skate, he's like, I have to do everything. And I know that I cannot give this up. I have to fight as hard as I can for everything. And we really saw that. You know, Max is such a musical skater and he has such beautiful jumps when he hits them. And he was out there just really, really fighting for it. And you could feel it. And you could feel how badly everyone wanted it for him. I mean, I thought his short program was like, that's my favorite. It's so good. But yeah, it was just really affirming for him to finally break out of fourth place and get on the podium. And, you know, I never, like, in a million years would have picked this podium, but it's extraordinary that it happened. And I think them going with those top three was the right call. I'm so happy for Max that he made the team. I mean, it felt like almost like the impossible journey, but we
It
all wanted it so much for him,
it
and he
a-
really did it. Did it?
it absolutely was the impossible journey
Yeah.
because it as much as he likes to throw down at nationals,
Yeah.
he was still working from behind the eight ball on this one,
Yeah.
and the fact that he went out there and did what he did, it was special. It was really special. I mean, he kept talking about, well, he kept being asked about his late parents, and
Yeah.
so we heard a lot of things that he had to say over and over again because people in the media were asking the same questions over and over again.
Yeah.
But
he handled that really
yeah,
well too.
so well.
Don't know that I would, but he did a very good job.
I mean,
He's so professional and
yeah,
kind.
and the thing was, he's had to do it since last January,
Yeah.
right? And so he's had a lot of practice. Although there's a lot of, I think, this nationals, which was like, frankly, the digging up of the emotions for him,
Yeah.
and like you, I feel like he's a better person than I am for
Yeah.
for not
Yeah.
being like, I'm not doing any interviews here.
Yeah. I mean, I would have declined more of them. I don't think he declined anything. He was
Yeah,
like, all
no,
right,
he
sure,
didn't
I'll do
decline
it.
anything.
Yeah.
He was in the mix zone. Everybody was just like asking him about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just and I was just sitting there like on the side, being like marveling at his composure. I was not going to partake in any of that.
Seriously.
Like, no,
Yeah.
he does not need another question about
Yeah.
his parents. Not another one.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about your quad sow cow. How's it going?
Tell me about not answering any of these questions and leaving now,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Seriously.
So, no, but he was saying how in one of his very last conversations with his dad basically in a 45-minute like conversation laid out an entire plan of how they were going to deal with the season, how they were going to give him the best shot at making the team, how they were going to make sure that he works on things that will get him to be more consistent this season. And you know, he was saying there were days and weeks and months where he didn't even care to go on the ice and even lace up his skates and all that. And he went from that to, you know, the Legacy on Ice show, and then to rededicating himself to training for this season. And you know, there was obviously the coaching change because he had to, and being able to work on the stuff that he was able to work on, and you know, going to France for those couple of months and working with Benoit on things.
Yeah.
And Like all of that. And I remember the very first competition he went to, I was like, Max, you're not perfect right now, but you are
Yeah.
looking better early this season than I've ever
Yeah.
seen you look this early in the season. And he is one of those who has such phenomenal all around talent,
Mm-hmm.
but the jumps just aren't there. And they haven't been there. And it takes them a long time to get there. And then by the
Mm-hmm.
time nationals comes around, oh look, a clean program.
Yeah.
You know,
Bledsoe.
and he could not afford that this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was not like when he was announced to be that it was on him
Mm-hmm.
on the team.
Yeah.
There was not a dry eye in the house.
No.
And you know, I looked over. There were coaches who were not his
Mm-hmm.
coaches who were crying. There were
Yeah.
skaters who were friends of his who were crying.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of crying going on.
Yeah.
I was sobbing, like
Yeah.
head in my hands, sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of Legacy on Ice when like
Yeah.
I
God.
couldn't. But this was a happy sob, right? This was a
Mm-hmm.
well, bittersweet sob. And it was just it's a story that I don't think I would have predicted would happen.
No.
Here.
Totally. And it's interesting because Ilya, Andrew, and Max were all on the 2020 Junior Worlds team. And it was like the three, sons of like Eastern European immigrants to the US. All their parents are famous skaters. They all grew up in skating. And like the three of them were on that team together. And they've been friends since then and always like supported each other and spent time together at competitions. And it's like, I was really hoping that one of them would get on the team with Ilya. But for both of them, it's extraordinary. It's
Yeah.
such a nice story. And it's unfortunate like other people lose out and didn't rise to the occasion to enable that to happen. But it's incredible that it happened, and I'm so happy for the three of them. And I'm so happy for Max that he gets to go to the Olympics as part of that team with his teammates.
I mean, look, we can talk about people not rising to the occasion or whatnot, but at the end of the day, you got to earn it, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Max earned it
yeah. He did.
the
He
way
really
that,
did.
the way that he skated. So, well, it has been 2.5 hours, and we have been talking a long time, and I'm
It's the
very
longest episode yet.
I am very surprised that there's still a bunch of people who are listening right now. We're going to talk a lot more this week because Europeans is coming.
Yeah, I just looked at the schedule, Jackie.
It starts
It
on
starts
Wednesday.
on Wednesday.
That's correct.
So are we going to do our preview tomorrow?
Therefore, join us tomorrow night because we will be back for our Europeans preview.
Much shorter. Much shorter.
Mm,
Much shorter.
yeah, likely much shorter.
And I'm so sorry, Tara. I'm so sorry.
Tara's gonna have to. Well, I mean, she knows because she stayed up with me 2 nights to talk for just about 2.5 hours, maybe
Oh
3
my
hours
gosh.
in total about
Yeah.
what happened. So look for this podcast to come out at some point during the week because Tara's going to have to go and listen to this whole thing and edit it. All right. Well,
I had one more thing on my list.
oh my God,
I
there's
didn't
one
talk
more.
about. Shout out to Ken Mikawa. He
Oh,
had to put on
Ken.
boots that his boots broke down. He had to get new boots right before nationals, and he could only get white ones. And so he wore boot covers for the short, but then he just let those boots out in the free
He
skate, and he skated in
owned
white
it.
boots, and I loved it.
He
I thought it looked
owned
cool.
it. Yeah.
We
same.
need more. We need more men in white boots.
But
It's a
also-
great look.
But also the thing about Ken too is he's one of those people who his goal was to make it to nationals.
Yeah.
And he was the first alternate and he made it to nationals when Camden had to pull out and he took advantage of every single minute. Every single minute. Oh,
Got through my whole list.
yeah, we got through the whole list, but every
Yeah, he
single
did.
minute. I mean, he in the practices he would do like multiple. He would basically do run throughs of his entire program. He's like, I'm gonna do as much as I can,
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are the kinds of stories that people don't talk about here because it's like, it's the national championships. There are plenty of skaters who are not going to be competitive for the world team or whatever, who this means so much to them just to be here
Just to be on
and
that
to be,
stage.
yeah, and to be competing against all of these skaters and be in front of this ridiculous crowd. I mean, the crowds in St. Louis were amazing.
Something I've never seen before. They had a curtain on the upper level the first day. They took it down for the women's event, and it was filled up there, almost all the way to the top.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was like the 90s. It was like that's what nationals we had in Spokane, which was a completely unique place and sold out skating events. But it was awesome.
Right. All right. Well, we're really going to close out this episode now. This will be a two-parter, trust me, on the actual podcast when it comes out. But Michelle, I'm not even going to ask you what you're obsessed about because we obsessed about the entire U.S. championships, and I'm going to let both of us go to sleep. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so
Me either.
we're going to go there. We'll talk to you again tomorrow for the Europeans preview, and we have Europeans bright and early on Wednesday. Like the 50 women's short programs that I'm sure we're going to be watching.
No, it's pairs first.
Oh, it's pairs first.
And then women's short.
Well, thank you as always to our sponsors at John Wilson Blades. For Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of RockerSkating.com. Thank you to Tara Nichols for listening to this whole thing and editing and making us sound good. We will actually talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.